All right, hello everyone. Welcome. Sorry, I burped. That's gross. Another comparison stream. Hello. We're here. Yeah. So I don't know. Whatever. Um, I have the sides wrong, and I was saying on my last stream I said it wrong, but yeah, you guys won't really care that much. Well, actually, I will care. I'm gonna try to move this over. Hold on, guys. This might change on your screen. I can't move it over, can I? How did I? Okay. I think I had it. I don't know. Does it fucking matter? No. Okay. I'm like trying to figure it all out. I'm like, what am I gonna do? It doesn't matter. So, here we are. Comparison stream. Before I really get into it, I'm gonna wait until some people are here. I know that people on YouTube watch this, so you guys can like skip through or whatever. You know, I mean, you guys have the thing on the timeline. You can just like me. I don't want to. So it'll be a few minutes of me waiting. I might just go into chatting. We might just chat for a minute. I do want to see if my chat box is set up in here. I'll chat for a few minutes. I'll talk about my day. Kind of have everyone kind of collect themselves, because I know there's some people that like to watch these, but they just like oop, there we go. That are like gonna be a few minutes late. So we're gonna do a little bit of chatting here. I'm gonna have Guild Wars 1 kind of in the background, the music and the crackling of the fire. As we stand, we hear this the music of the Shiverpeak Mountains. Well, I hope you guys are having a good day. I figured while we're waiting, okay, I don't care, computer, get out of here. I figure while we're waiting on some people to get here, I want to kind of, I'm gonna actually maybe wait, because Discord always takes forever to like notify everyone when I go live, and I'm always like, this should be automatic. Like, it should just be like, bam, bam, done. Like, I press live and then boom, it sends out a notification, but apparently it's not. And Muckluck is streaming. What is he streaming? Huh. I don't know, something. I really hope that all his stuff recently that he's done has paid off. I mean, it looks like it has, but that's good for him, right? I just want to make sure that everything is the way it's supposed to be. We have 220 followers. Thank you guys so much for that. I really appreciate it. I have a headache. Guys, I had a really long day again today. I didn't want to make it a long day, but as fate would have it, I have a new choice. Oh, look at the Dalyak just walking by. That's really cool. Look at that pig on this. Whoa, that's really graphic right here. Look at that guy. He didn't live to see another day. You can even, like, the stick through his mouth is like a different object. Can I make that? Did you guys see how that, like, disappeared for a second? Can I make that? How did I do that? I can't make it. Again. Oh, you guys can't even see what I'm doing. I'm, like, acting like you guys can see what I'm doing. You guys can't. That's okay. Sometimes I think people don't look at their Discord notifications, or they don't care to, so I'm just gonna bother them twice. And we're just, like I said, we're gonna just wait. I want to talk about my day, and then we can kind of go into some stuff here. But, guys, I had a long day. Okay, I went into my new job that I have. I went into that, like, an hour early, because I had a lot of stuff that I had to help them with. And, I ended up staying 3 hours after we were supposed to be done. just helping them with all kinds of stuff. With like IT, it was mostly like IT stuff because they don't have like an IT person. So I had to like help them set up IT stuff, and yeah, it was very exhausting. Very, very exhausting. I love how that dahlia is right next to me. You guys can't see it. There's a dahlia right next to me. It's like eating. Um, but yeah, it was a long day, and I have to say that I keep on being really impressed by my new management that I have at the new job. They seem like really, really cool people. Um, my my manager, my general manager, you know, the big guy underneath the owners or whatever, like he specifically is so freaking cool. Like he's awesome. He you know, I was kind of sitting there and I was trying to fix like a lot of their, like there's so much IT stuff that they have to have done, and none of them have any knowledge about computers whatsoever. Like none. Okay, they're all like computer illiterates, and but they're looking to do the whole everything, all the functionalities and everything. They're trying to do it on computers, on iPads, and none of them have ever done anything like that. So, you know, me coming in there with my little IT certification, I'm like, hello, I can help. So, I'm trying to help them. I'm trying to set it all up for them. And so I'm sitting there, like I said, for like about 2 to 3 hours at this point. I've been sitting there. I was on the phone with like support because I had to like call support because I needed like, you know, there's a lot of stuff that from my side I can't even do. It wasn't that I didn't know how to do it, it's just it wouldn't let me because they had to like activate something on the account, and they have to do it through the, and it was a lot of stuff. So I'm sitting there, all of a sudden this, you know, my general manager, he comes over and he like tosses a $50 bill at me. Like he just kind of drops it, and I was like, okay. Now, mind you, I'm getting paid by the hour. Okay, I'm getting training paid by the hour. So I'm just like, okay, what's this? And he's like, listen, all the shit that you're doing for us, like, we would never be able to figure it out. Okay, he's like, I'm giving that to you because, like, you know, he's just like appreciating my work, and he's just like, you know, we would all be completely lost if you weren't here. Like, none of this would work, and this would be a complete nightmare if you weren't here. And I was just like, thank you so much. I could cry on command if I wanted to, but I'm not going to right now. But yeah, I was just like, that is so nice. Why are you so nice to me? Yeah, I'm just not used to people that appreciate my work. It sounds really shitty, but honestly, my like the manager, the restaurant that I'm leaving right now, they just don't know how to appreciate good workers. And so it, you know, which is shocking. It's not shocking at all. I'm obviously being sarcastic because it's very common in this restaurant business in this area, in this type of work, to not be appreciated at all. So it's very common, very, very common. I'm gonna put some stuff here while we're kind of chatting. I am waiting for more people to get here, but I'm probably just not gonna wait because, you know, too late. You're fucking late. You should know when I go live if you want to see it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm fucking saying? But while we're waiting, I can empty my bags because I'm gonna collect some items and stuff. I do want to show off. You know, there's a whole part to the comparison streams that I thought about right before I went live, and I've talked about this a little bit before as well. It's like, so we can compare the areas of the world, the map, maybe even what different creatures look like, so all of them. But what about like systems? What about, like, you know, you look at traits and attributes. Like the attribute system in Guild Wars 1 is pretty much the predecessor to the trait system in Guild Wars 2. And there's all this stuff. And I'm like, I don't think I'm ever gonna do streams about it, but I might make like an actual like video about those things. You know, I don't know, but. It's just interesting to think about that those things are an important part as well of the game, right? Of the game systems and all that stuff. Okay, I had that open earlier and then I didn't do anything with it. You guys again can't see what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm like, what the hell is he talking about? I don't even know. Okay, I'm just gonna sell everything. I have this elf. I'm gonna have this miniature elf. We're We're gonna have Mr. Miniature Elf hang out with me. Sound good? Sound great. Yeah, I'm just gonna sell everything else because I don't need any of these things. But yeah, I had a long day, and then why can't I? Oh, because I'm not there. Hello, hello. I can't sell you anything. And then he's like, "Oh, what time can you be here tomorrow?" And I'm like, "Don't even start like that." He's like, "I'll be here at 8:15." I'm like, "There's no way in fucking hell I'm gonna be here at 8:15." Okay, I told him 9 o'clock is the earliest you're gonna see me, because he was like, "What time can you get here?" I was like, 9. He's like, "Okay." I'm like, dude. He doesn't know that I stream, but I'm like, listen, I have a comparison stream. It's gonna go to like midnight, 2 o'clock, somewhere around that. There's no way I'm gonna get up in time to come here at the crack of fucking dawn when the sun hasn't even arisen. No thanks. That's not me. You got the wrong guy. You got the wrong guy, bro. Alright, no one is getting here. No one cares. No one cares to watch this, so fuck them all. Fuck them right in the butthole. Alright, just kidding. Let's switch over here. We're going live. Look at how seamless that was. I thought everything's gonna break. Alright, so again, as always, we're gonna be following Guild Wars 1 first. Do I have my movement speed person? I do have my movement speed person. So, because the thing is that Guild Wars 2, I can just like be anywhere at any given point with waypoints. You know, I still think that that's the Doliac I was talking about, by the way. Welcome, Emily. Hi, just in time. I was doing a whole thing about work today. I was like, I'm gonna wait until people find themselves into the chat. Oh my good God, everyone is loving my, I got 2 likes on my tweet already. What? I'm winning at life today. Winning at life today, okay? Today has been a good day, knock on wood. Day isn't over, so I have another 3 hours before that day is done. But, what was I saying? Oh, so with Guild Wars 2, obviously, and I kind of preface all the streams like this. Guild Wars 2, obviously, I can like, bam, magically appear at any spot in the world, whether it's through waypoints, which are way too common in the core world, or, you know, mounts, which kind of diminishes that problem, or, I don't know, exacerbate that particular problem even more. But, I don't know why I said but. So we're going to do Guild Wars 1 first. So we already kind of talked about this last week, and that was kind of my preview. I'm just gonna kind of refresh everyone's mind on this. So we're here at Yax Bend. Okay, let's look at the map for a minute. So we did all of Ascalon, guys. We did all of Ascalon. I'm currently working on a video for Ascalon, which is super cool, and I'm really like happy because I wanted to do, you know, speaking of like those. Whoa, what did I just do? I got a thingy out. Speaking of like, you know, doing comparison streams and stuff, I'm going back and doing lore videos. Before I get into this, I do want to talk about this as well. I'm making regional lore videos. It's going to be my next project. There's like 15 projects in the works, but I'm trying to get, I think right now is a good time to get the regional lore out, so I'm kind of moving all the other stuff back, because fuck it. You know, it doesn't matter. It's a self-imposed rules and self-imposed schedules, so I can change it whenever I want to. Take that. I don't know. Whoever wants to complain about it. I don't think anyone will. But it's really fun to, like, you know, talk about this, because the thing is, I wanted to at first only talk about the history. I've done like histories of videos, right? I've talked about the gods. I'm going to be talking about the Ministry of Purity. I've talked about the Tengu. You know, those things have all happened or will happen. And I wanted to do the same. And I always took the text from the wiki. So then I started working on, what is this again? Oh, okay. I started working on this, or I started thinking about making this video, the regional lore. And I thought about, okay, the history. And then, you know, the history, I'm like, okay, I got the history. I'm like, that's all I want to do. I just want to talk about the history. Well, so I'm adding to that particular, I'm adding something in there that's going to be maybe a little bit more helpful, like a little bit of a bridge to kind of bridge the timelines, with a little bit of like the actually physically looking at the maps, maybe a little bit, because just spewing out dates and spewing out locations that maybe something has happened in and not really knowing where those locations are or something like that is maybe a little confusing for people. So the idea is that in these videos, I'm going to be going through not only the history, which will be the first part in those videos, but I will also be going through each of the zones. And again, huge shout out to the wiki people, because for every zone, Guild Wars 1 or Guild Wars 2, they have a description. Guild Wars 2 used to have, way back in the day, for those of you that don't know, way back, I think this was only during beta events, during the beta and probably alpha as well. But if you loaded into a new map, there was, on the loading screen, it wasn't just the art that you'd see. You would also, on the very bottom where it says the name, it used to have like a paragraph, a description about the area of the game, of the map, the region, you know, the specific map, like Plains of Ashford. You would load into Plains of Ashford, and it would tell you like a little description on the bottom about Plains of Ashford. And they took those out. God knows why. I love those descriptions. I don't know why they did that, because obviously someone put effort into those, and they kind of like, we don't want that. I don't know. I guess it was the whole like they didn't want people to read too much, right? It was all about like you want it to flow naturally, but I don't know. Having loading screens full of information would be really cool. I don't know. Anyways, so those have been archived by the wiki people, and they're in there. So I'm going to be using those, and there are some that they have written themselves for the areas in Guild Wars 1. So, you know, like you go out to the Flame Temple Corridor, or the DSLO lands, or the Breach, or, you know, this Ruins of Sirmia mission, or the Eastern Frontier. So I will be going through the timeline. And then once I'm done with the timeline, I'm going to go through the different areas, starting with Guild Wars 1, pre-searing, specifically for Ascalon, because we have a pre-searing map there, and then going to post-searing, and then going to Guild Wars 2, and then those maps, right? So that's going to happen for those videos, guys. Get excited for those. I'm really happy. They're not too much work either, so I should be able to pump those out once my schedule kind of like calms the fuck down, because it's like my schedule is on steroids right now, and it needs to chill. Okay, which it will at some point, but we're not here for that. So I'm sorry to waste everyone's time for a little bit. Look at this, guys. Look at the beautiful map we get to look at here. I don't think we're gonna get to see too much up there. I will be going through there, but yeah, we're here. This is the Central Shiverpeaks. We're kind of gonna do this today. The reason why I'm kind of limiting it to like just Central is because these missions, I have to go through these missions physically, and they kind of take you like the long way around. And then here is the same thing. I can't just like run through. I have to take the long way around. So we're gonna kind of have to do, yeah, pretty much the long way around. And you know, there's a bunch, the Deldrima Bowl over here. There's a lot to see here, which one I really like this area a lot. It's a very tundra-ish. There's a lot of like vegetation, but there's also like snow, so it's very tundra-ish, and it's really cool. And then we see Anvil Rock and stuff. So yeah, so here we are, Shiverpeak Mountains. Sorry to waste everyone's time a little bit. We're kind of looking at about this area on here. I want to say about like this for what we're doing on this map. I can't draw on the Guild Wars 1 map, but it's gonna be about this. I might have to do, because the Anvil Rock area over here is actually where Dragonstorm takes place, and that's over here. So I might jump into the Dragonstorm map just for a minute. Like, I don't know if I can. I probably can. Maybe we'll have to see, and then I'll maybe show off some stuff. Not that there's anything in particular to see, I want to say, so. But yeah, and I didn't really read the descriptions of the areas, which I'm sorry, I didn't do that, guys. Again, you can, if you're watching this on YouTube, I'm gonna kind of like press these things, and you can like kind of pause and read for yourselves if you want to pause them and read those. I'm gonna kind of go like somewhat slow when I press them. Serenity Temple, Fort Rannick. You know, I didn't really do that, and I'm like, I thought about that after the fact, and I was like, okay, well, that was kind of shitty. So not like that these have like huge impacts on the on anything. I mean, Oh, we already did that. And we have the Greenwich Courtyard. There's not too much to read. This one is probably the longest one. But yeah, so you guys can kind of do that. So we're gonna start with Yak's Bend. Okay, we did that last week already. That was kind of a preview. So let's go back and do a little bit. So when we're standing right in front of these tents here, and we can see we're looking westward, right? If we do the same thing in Guild Wars 2, we actually get somewhat the same view. Look at this, right? So we're standing in front of, well, pretty much this tent with the two Dolyaks is where Sebedo, the Mesmer, Sebedo, whatever, is standing here. It's kind of the same thing, right? You have the little bit of a thing here, which you will see in Guild Wars 2 is like right there. And then we kind of have the tents above there, right? And we kind of have like the weapons guy over here and all the stuff with the mountains in the back, and we kind of have the same thing here with some tents and people in the front, and you know, the mountains in the back. So they kind of copied that and they kind of pasted that looking westward. So that's really cool, right? And then we turn around, we kind of get this little ditch here that I can't cross. These are all the Ascalonian. These are the people that will be establishing the Ascalon catacombs. Okay, they're over here in these little carriages with the luggage on top. And then they stay inside of there. A lot of them are in the tents, maybe some are out doing whatever, gathering materials or whatever. So when we turn around here, we kind of get the same kind of ditch thing here. Obviously, Guild Wars 2 has a lot more movement freedom, so it kind of lets me actually go up there and walk around and whatever. But that's kind of the same thing that we're looking at here. We're kind of looking across these hills. There are no charred tanks in Guild Wars 1. Yeah, there's none. There's some towers. So when you look at this was later added. This is where Krakatorkin was, and the War Downs, which that's gonna be such a super fun map to compare, because it's like they did a really nice job with putting that in as well. But you see some towers and you see some I guess you would have some ammunition carts, but we don't have like full-on tanks because they weren't like as as industrial as they were or as they are in Guild Wars 2. They're not as advanced yet, right? So that was a big shocker actually when Guild Wars 2 came out, for the chart to all of a sudden be like, boom. You know, they're just like these really advanced, like with all this like steam technology and all this stuff, right? It was actually super surprising because you're just like, I mean, it makes sense, right? For us Guild Wars 2 players, like that's super normal. But in Guild Wars 1, that wasn't like them. They were more portrayed for the most part in Guild Wars 1 as savage beasts, right? They were like these animal people that were out to just like hunt, and they weren't like technologically advanced. But it makes sense. It's very fitting. They did a really good job in Guild Wars 2 to make that really feel like that. So I don't know how many actual, like, okay, so let's read about Yak's Bend. Okay, so we are here where Yak's Bend is, right? Yak's Bend waypoint. So Yakington's Toil. Again, we kind of talked a little bit about Yakington. You can go over on Chicken stream. We talked about Yakington because recently in one of the recent streams. So let's read about Yak's Bend here. It says, so called because of the numerous yak herds that rove throughout the area. Yak's Bend is the last refuge for travelers who are about to undertake the rough passage through the Shiverpeaks. Because of its low altitude, the weather here is somewhat less harsh, providing a place to rest, regroup, and re-equip. All right, the 3 R's: rest, regroup, and re-equip. So this is obviously the first stop for people. There's an area right here that's like really fucking hard because you actually have hydras. There used to be hydras in Ascalon, guys, and they would fuck you up. Okay, literally, that was really tough to physically, because what happens here is you do the Nolani Academy mission, you go all the way to Rin, and it teleports you to Yak's Bend. Now, the way that Guild Wars 1 is set up, once I get to post-steering Ascalon, I can just venture. I can just walk through here, go to Pike Square. From Pike Square, I can go to Greenwich Courthouse. From Greenwich Courthouse, I can go to Yak's Bend. Or I can just leave Ascalon City without stopping at any of those points and go right to Yak's Bend. But it's a very, very hard journey because these hydras are right in between there. It's really, really tough. So, but it's cool to think about, right? Because hydras for Guild Wars 2 were introduced with Path of Fire. And yeah, they used to be an Ascalon, guys. Imagine having those big ass hydras. They weren't like that. We'll see some hydras in the game, but they weren't quite like that. So as you guys kind of see, looking before we kind of start our journey going out of Yak's Bend into Traveler's Vale, you see pretty much there was two ways that you could travel over the Shiver Peaks. The southern path is the mission path. That's pretty much, if you follow the story, they have you go Borderless Pass. Because again, the shields with the swords through, this one I haven't completed yet. As you guys can see, it's flashing. It's telling me that I need to do it. But the shields are the actual story missions. So you can take the southern pass, go through, you kind of meet the dwarfs. You actually meet, and we're going to meet him, guys. We're going to meet King Jalis, who, if you're a Revenant player, King Jalis, he is the dwarven, the legendary dwarf. Like, we're gonna meet the legendary dwarf, King Jalis, right? We see his tomb in Guild Wars 2, which we'll look at his tomb as well. I don't think that's an area we can actually visit in Guild Wars in Guild Wars 1. I want to say that's not actually, I mean, it's an area that's accessible. I want to say King Jalis' refuge. But I want to say, hold on, if I were to, uh, it'll probably be somewhere around here. Oh, I need my overlay on. Hold on, guys. Let me put my overlay on. Um, because I'm just like, maybe it's over there, but why guess when I have such an amazing tool? For those of you that don't know, you can go under thatshaman.com and there's a tool. It's called the Historical Guide to Tyria, which will overlay the area maps of Guild Wars 1 on top of the map of Guild Wars 2. So you can kind of see where like all the locations are. It's a really good tool to use if you're interested in seeing what was where. Um, yeah, so King Jalis' tomb is actually not available. So okay, that's interesting. I didn't know that that's how it's gonna be. Okay, so pretty much like this entire southern path here, all of this area actually goes all the way down, like Dretchon Cliffs and everything. So this entire area actually going from like right here all the way down, none of this was available in Guild Wars 1. Okay, like this path was like over here, and you kind of come down here. That's where the Anvil Rock is. When you look over here, that's kind of where the Deldrimor Bowl is. The Deldrimor Bowl is like over here. But yeah, this entire path here wasn't available. So King Jalis' tomb is not something that we can actually visit in Guild Wars 1. Like, that would be like down here, and we have never been there. So we have never been there in Guild Wars 1, so we wouldn't ever see that. But all right, I need to take a short break. I know we haven't really started, but I'll be right back. I forgot to do something. I'll be right back. Give me 1 second, guys. There we go. Sorry about that. I forgot to do my laundry. I have to get up early tomorrow, and I was like, I need to start my laundry. It needs to be put in the dryer once I'm done streaming. Okay, anyways, sorry guys. Anyways, so a lot of it will be very interesting because and I'm sure some of you can see this. There wasn't that much water in the northern Shiverpeak. Like, look at all these mountains. There's not a lot of water, right? We have Jakar Lake over here. You know, we have Varia Fels. I don't know how to say that, but um, you know, there's a little bit of water. I have the north has some water, but not that much, right? Now we have like a giant, almost like ocean-like in Guild Wars 2, which is attributable to what? We already know. You should know. You should know. No, but it's attributable to the rising of the Elder Dragons, because supposedly when I think this is written in the Movement of the World, I want to say, but when Jormag woke up, Jormag, or like not woke up, but like gained awareness or whatever, you know, kind of like started coming out of the deep slumber. There was the ice started melting or something like that. There's some kind of thing. So that's why there's a lot of water here, because all of this, you know, used to be like all of this, and there's like one little lake here. We have one little lake. That's it, right? But we have all this water here. So I'm gonna do two paths. Obviously, we're gonna do the southern path. We're gonna talk about the Frost Gate. There's some fun stuff to talk about. We'll talk about uh, Jalis and all that. So let's actually do that, because I keep talking and then I keep not actually doing anything. So when you leave here, you're going south. Okay, so we're leaving southward. Um, you're kind of like, this is kind of the path you're kind of taking here. These bridges weren't here, but you're kind of going through this like canyon-y looking thing, which they kind of like tried to replicate a little bit. You know, it's kind of a canyon, and you kind of, you know, there's rocks on either side. I mean, it's like miniature. It's not really like, what's a mini canyon called? I don't know. But so we kind of move along here, and we meet Stone Summit Dwarves, guys. They look very, very similar to how the Guild Wars 2 uh, Stone Summit Dwarves looks. I kind of, you know what? Does this sound a little bit, it's a little bit too high for me. Yeah, so they kind of look very similar. Oh God, I have a, I have a minion master here. So that's what the Stone Summit look like. Very similar, right? And look, oh my God, he's just like summoning all the things. There's some more Stone Summit here. It wants me to go to Dragon Skullet. We're not going to do that. So we're going to go this way. So we're kind of following. This is Ascalon Caravan Guard. And it kind of has signs telling us where to go. So we're kind of following this out. Again, it looks very different, obviously, you know, because if you follow in Guild Wars 2, there's not that much where you're like, oh yeah, that looks the same. I mean, you can kind of see, and it already looks different, right? Like I said, this is very similar to how the Deldrim Bowl is, where it's like almost tundra-ish, right? It has like this tundra-ish like feel to it. This does too, actually, a little bit, now that I look at it, when you actually look at the environments and stuff. But yeah, so we're kind of moving. Oops, I'm stuck behind. I didn't mean to do that. We're getting attacked, but that's not a problem. We're just gonna fuck them up. So we're just kind of move through here, and I'm gonna see if I can find again, there's not actual locations where you can be like, that's the same mountain. Like, that's, you know, it's not like that, you know. So we're gonna just find some stuff that is like that. Ascalon Foothills, so that's the area over here. That's where the arrow is pointing. The arrow is pointing, you know, it's telling me to go to Dragon Skullet, but it has an arrow to tell me that I need to be, that I move through the Ascalon Foothills, which ends, I think, right over here or something. Or something like that. It's not a very big area. And then into Diesa Lowlands, and then into the corridor, and then into Flame Gauntlet. So, but that's kind of what it's telling me. Has some signs and stuff. We see some ice golems. We did see those a little bit as well. So it's like the ice elementals in Guild Wars 2. I want to say Guild Wars 2 did a better job on those. I think they look better the way they are. More Stone Summit. I mean, obviously these aren't very tough. So, um, let me see where we will end up. What is this? Why is this open? Okay, I have too many tabs open. Let me consolidate my tabs into one window so I can have this all together. Okay, interestingly enough, guys, we're gonna be going over here specifically to Claw Watch. Okay, so that is kind of the journey we're doing right now in Guild Wars 1. We're kind of journeying here along this way, and we're kind of walking down here. Again, nothing really looks the same. You know, they took some artistic freedom when it came to the things, to some of the things. They did a good job of overlaying a lot of different stuff, but most of the stuff is pretty much, you know, there's no like ice bridge or anything. There's some paths that we can take. More Stone Summit. Again, it's not as snowy as it does look in Guild Wars 1. Or Guild Wars 2, I mean. Can we just kill them, please? They shouldn't be hard to kill. They should literally just die in a matter of seconds to us. We see some centaurs, guys. We see some centaurs. Very common in Guild Wars 1 to find centaurs in the Shiverpeaks. Later on in the far Shiverpeaks, in the much northern area, we'll see a ton of them. There's like a really cool boss that runs around Drakkar Lake as well. So we're kind of getting to Borlus Pass. Is Borlus Pass over? Oh, no, it's a dead end. It's a dead end. Look at the snow, though. Oh, do you guys see this? So that's one thing that Guild Wars 2 doesn't do too often. Which detriment. I want to say that's an incredible detriment to the game. Something that they did very often. It's something I showed off. If you guys watched my tour of Cantha in Guild Wars 1, my videos, there was certain times in the Equad Forest that they used this a lot. But watch the screen, guys. Watch the screen as we go. First of all, actually, let's go back. Let's go back. So what's the first major change that we see when we come across here? Something that I find really, really cool. Okay, and we're gonna kind of scroll out here to kind of see. Actually, we can land. There's no big enemies here, so we can kind of hide out on this mountain and have this like really cool view, right? It looks really nice. So there's no snowfall, right? And then look, we turn around and this area has snowfall. I really like that. It kind of gives you the feeling of like we're really entering the deep mountains. I feel like in Guild Wars 2 they don't really do that. Maybe it's just the snow, because the snow in Guild Wars 1 is way more prominent. It's way more obvious, right? You're just like, whoa, it's snowing. In Guild Wars 2, it's a little bit on the like, you can't see, like here I can see the snow that's falling over there on that mountain. I can't. It's almost like they're just putting a filter over the screen in Guild Wars 2. Oh my god, really, dude? I'm just sitting here, I'm just having a good time, and you're coming with your bullshit. Leave me alone, die, please. Good god. Yeah, so it almost is like a filter. We can't see the snow falling too far ahead. I wish we could. You know, this is more realistic. Like, as I look through, it's like when you're looking at a rain shower, right? Where it's drizzling right now where you are, it's just like, eh. But then if you look across like a flat landscape, you can see all of the rain, and it just makes it look like more rain, but it's the same amount. It's just you're looking at a wider area, right? And I wish they kind of have they didn't keep that, and that's something that's somewhat sad to me. I'm like, you know, I mean, that's I like this. And again, like I said, area. So I'm walking over here, and then watch again. Watch the screen. Watch the transition. Ooh, did you see it get dark? So they there's no day and night cycle in Guild Wars 1. So that's kind of how they did the day and night cycle. They just like made the skybox like really dark. All of a sudden it's night. We're at Boiler's Pass and it's nighttime. So it's kind of giving you the feeling of really like you're journeying, right? Because you're you're going from one area to the next and it starts snowing, and shortly after the sun goes down, so you get this like illusion of a journey. Again, it's the details, it's all in the details, and the internet is so good at doing the details, and they have been, even back then, right? So we kind of I don't think, yeah, so we can go into Boreless Pass, and here we are in Boreless Pass. There's nothing here, okay? We can kind of look around this outpost here. We have some merchants. Again, caravan. The caravan has now kind of pulled by Dolyaks, is moving behind us. They're moving in behind us, and they're following us across the mountain. Right. This is the road we're taking together. Right. How far does this go? I think this ends right here. And does the mission start me? Where does the mission start? I think it starts over here. I'm not quite sure. We would have to look at the map. I think it starts over there or down here. I think it starts over there. I want to say the mission starts over there. So again, the two areas don't connect, obviously. I think that is what we start. So we kind of go over that little hill and then we continue. I want to say is how it goes. But yeah, so the interesting thing is, the cool thing is that they have these outposts, and you always think like, ooh, it's an outpost or something there. Well, a lot of Guild Wars 1, specifically the Prophecies area, which is like the original Guild Wars game, like, pretty much the core game that Guild Wars 2 is as well, the same kind of areas or whatever. A lot of these outposts, they don't have, like, some of them don't really actually have anything in them. Like, Serenity Temple is a cool location, but what was in there? Nothing. There was nothing in there. Greenwich Courtyard, yeah, again, it was a cool location, but there's nothing there. Borderless Pass is even worse. There's just like this. We have Beckham Reedley over here, and a henchman you can take with us, a scout that can take us to, another location that has nothing to do with what's going on here, and then a merchant, because every outpost has and then a Zunlai chest, which is a bank. So there's nothing here. Now, we journey in Guild Wars 2 across the same area, and where do we go? Well, it might surprise some of you, and it surprised me when I first found that out. We're going across here, and we're kind of taking a step. No, hold on, let me land so that I can be in the air and not get attacked. We actually get here, guys, right here. This location, this tower is called Claw Watch. That is Boreless Pass outpost. Right? You could even say, like, when you look, do you see how the hill goes up and it has a little plateau here where, again, because of the screen color of the blue, the weird faint, like, blue that they have, you can't really see, but there's a little hill, right, that leads up and it has a plateau with the tower on it. Well, could this potentially be it? The little path that leads up with the tower on it? I mean, this is pointing south where this is pointing north. But I'd like to think it is that, right? So that is the exact location. If you were to look, Boreless Pass, maybe it's a little off to the side, so it'll be like up here. It'll be, instead of like being right there, it's like up here or something like that. I don't know, but I'd like to think that it's this area. So that's really cool, isn't it? I think that's really, really cool that they have, like, they put something there, and it's like it used to represent something. Not like these areas look the same, but it's just cool to have, right? So let's read about Boreless Pass. So Boreless Pass, I will tell you guys, and I didn't talk about this, a lot of the missions are not necessarily named for the outpost, but for the area that you're going through. Right, so this outpost is called Boreless Pass, but it's like the entrance area to the Boreless Pass. So we're actually entering Boreless Pass, which is this over here, and it leads to the Frost Gate. So Boreless Pass is the southern path you can take through the Shiverpeaks, through the central Shiverpeaks, through the Frost Gate to get to Beacon's Purge, or eventually Gates of Kryta and then Lion's Arch. So let's read about the whole path, the whole Borlus Pass. The Shiver Peaks rise up over 10,000 feet above sea level. In the shadow of this enormous mountain range lie the kingdoms of Kryta to the west and Ascalon to the east. Borlus Pass is the closest travelable passage through the mountains to the city of Ren. The next closest lies much farther north, deep in charred territory. So I'm not sure why they're not talking about this path, but they're actually talking about this path over here, which is from Long Eyes Ledge, going across Bureau Marches, Yaga Moraine to Drakar Lake, or maybe even Norhart. Probably faster to go to Norhart Domains, Varia Fells, and actually going to the other side over here to the Verdant Cascades. But yeah, so that's kind of like, that is the other path. There's no other path that leads you across. It's just so treacherous in between there, that this is like the Borlus Pass is the one area that you can travel through. So yeah, there you go. That kind of talks about that. And let's enter the mission. And we shall see where it teleports us to. Maybe exactly. Oh, we kind of see some dwarven structures. We're going to see some dwarven structures. We've only seen destroyed ones in Guild Wars 2. But in fact, there is a bunch of them. So, was I correct in my assumption? I was. So if we look over, this is where the 2 Dolyaks were. That's where the merchant was sitting. That's the little thing with Beckham over there. So we hopped across here, and this is where we started, okay? So our deal here is, again, we're fighting a bunch of, and I'm going to open this up, and I'm going to kind of, I know that I had this like set up better last time. I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna kind of put that over there. Does that works, right? Having those maps up there, so we can get another look at the map, and we can kind of see. This is more akin to what the Guild Wars 2 map is gonna look like, because we have it doesn't spin in the directional thing like the one that I have in Guild Wars 1, the mini map, but it kind of will have the same icon that Guild Wars 2 has on its map. So. We kind of have like comparative maps that are right next to each other, which is nice. But yeah, so our deal here is to light storm beacons. Okay, why do we do that? Well, we'll have to find that out. We don't really know that, but it says the storm is pretty bad. A group could get lost real easy up in the Shiver Peaks. Better light the storm beacons, or we'll, and I can't read what it says there. Or we'll never get through. Take this, you'll need it to ignite. So the storm beacons help us light a path through the Shiver Peaks, because you can see the fire through the snow and the fog. So that's helping all the people that are following us, right? Remember that that like they're following us through. The caravans from Ascalon are following us through the mountains. We're kind of the vanguard here. We're protecting them from these guys. These are the centaurs of the Shiver Peaks, right? We're kind of protecting them as we go across here. And again, there's not a lot of comparisons to do because these areas look very, very, very different. But I will make sure that once we get to something interesting, that I will show you guys. Buzz Pass. I kind of have to make sure that I'm looking at these maps. So there's stuff down there. Okay. So we're kind of, and we gotta just light these beacons. So we're gonna go through, light these beacons, and we can see some more of the Shiver Peaks. It's kind of cool. You see, like I said, it's nighttime. And maybe the sky darkening wasn't necessarily the time of day changing. Now that we know a storm is coming through, maybe the sky is darkening because of dark clouds coming in, right? It could be the same, like the sky darkened because storm clouds are coming in, and we're just like, oh no, it's getting dark. Oh my god! But you know, we can't stop. We can't just stop journeying, so we have to continue on. This mission, when you first do it and you're inexperienced, can be actually pretty tough. As you can see, the groups of centaurs here are pretty large. So Guild Wars 2 likes to do this a lot, where you go in Guild Wars 1 likes to do that a lot, where you move in zigzags, because you don't have any I can't jump across here. In Guild Wars 2, I can just like take my raptor and jump across here and go to the other side. In Guild Wars 1, I can't do that, so I have to walk all the way around and come down here. So they do that a lot in a lot of the missions. You'll see that we zigzag through the mountains or some crevices or through the jungle path. Like you guys will see there's actually the jungle, the Maguma jungle is really cool set up in Guild Wars 1 because it actually has two different layers to it. It has like a bottom layer where there's like water and like dense forest, and then you have like the upper path, which is almost like just kind of going across, like you kind of like, you don't want to go into the depth of the jungle. You kind of stay above it by going across like these vine bridges. It's really cool. So it's a really unique way to portray a jungle. But yeah, so we're gonna light more beacons. We have a boss over here. He's gonna die in like 3 seconds, no worries. And we have a guard Tollus over here, and we're journeying into like all of the structure, all of these fences, all of these jade, it's almost like jade looking, right? These things, these are all dwarven. This is all dwarven make. Okay, you guys will see dwarven houses and gates and all kinds of stuff in a minute, and it's all dwarven made. It's all what the dwarves use. So this won't open. This guy will be like, get the fuck out. Unless you open all, unless you use all of the, no one gets through. I need to see all of the storm beacons lit. So Prince Rick ordered us to pretty much do that. So we're gonna do that. We're kind of looking at the map here. Again, we didn't move very much further, but we went, right? You can kind of like, you know, I can kind of keep this up and you guys will kind of see. So where I'm located, which I'm going to go on top of the tower. So this is where, we'll sit right on top of here. So this is where Borelus Pass is, where we are located. So as you guys can see, you know, to the west, like, there, you know, we take a path, right, but then we like come back in, and we're gonna be going zigzagging through here. We only have the inside of the mountain. In Guild Wars 1 it's the outside, but we don't have a way. So there's, again, not too much to do comparisons. We will see some stuff later on, I want to say, as we go. Yeah, later on in the mission there will be a couple of things to look at, but not really. So we're kind of journeying through here. So he opens the gate. Again, this is dwarven made. This is their dwarven technology. The dwarves are fairly one of the more advanced races in Guild Wars 1, I want to say. You know, I mean, compared to the humans, and compared, like, the humans did have gates, and they used a lot of magic and stuff, but technologically they weren't very advanced. Here, we have a powder station, a powder keg. Powder keg station. So we're gonna need that. We're gonna definitely need that as we journey across here. There's another one over there. We're gonna kind of have to, but again, that's very dwarven, right? And like, ooh, we get some Wayfarer's Marks. This is pretty much the celebration event for Guild Wars 1, just so you guys know. Guild Wars 1 has their own. It's called the Wayfarer's Reverie, and they have these Wayfarer Marks that drop. I think this is in celebration of the Guild Wars 2 release or something like that. I don't think that's is that their anniversary stuff? I don't think that's their anniversary stuff. I could be wrong though. But yeah, you can use these. You can trade it into collectors for rewards, and you can also go around doing different missions, and it gives you like other rewards and stuff as you go through. But that's kind of going on right now in Guild Wars 1. Guild Wars 1 and 2, you know, it's funny because they have the same holidays, like Winter's Day. There's Winter's Day in Guild Wars 1 and a Winter's Day in Guild Wars 2, and they happen at the same time. So like sometimes I have to like split my time because like some stuff is like really cool. Halloween is way better in Guild Wars 2, but whatever. So we have some stone summits. We actually have people like on mountain, like they're actually mounted up, mountain, like that's really cool, right? That's the kind of the first we see of um, some enemies that are on like some really cool like bears or something. I don't know. That would be a really cool like mount skin to do in Guild Wars 2 for something. I mean, I don't know, maybe for a war claw or something. That would be kind of cool. I would like that. We have a boss here who thinks he's the bee's knees, but he's about to be shown otherwise. So here they don't tell you this, but you have to blow up this gate. There is a whole side mission that happens somewhere else. Does that come after? I think that comes after. I don't think I'm gonna do the side mission. Is there a good reason to do the side mission? Do I want to do the side mission? How does everyone feel? Do you want me to do the bonus mission? It's gonna take me longer to finish the mission, but is it something that people want to see? Yeah, so you get kind of like, you know, dwarves in video games, and I kind of started talking about that earlier. Dwarves in video games are always portrayed with like, you know, powder kegs and like, you know, they're like these bearded short guys that drink a lot of booze and blow shit up, right? And they kind of, in Guild Wars 1, they kind of keep that trope, so they kind of have that. They don't do anything special with them. Not initially, later on for them to become stone and stuff. That's kind of cool. I feel like that's not something we necessarily see a lot, but yeah. So we actually blow this up. So we have to blow open this gate with the powder keg. That's why the powder kegs are around. Bam, we blow open this gate. Look at that. We move in here, and it was see, bring an end to the siege of Croc's Hollow. Destroy the ballista and the forces outside the gate. So Croc's Hollow, as you guys can see, it's a outpost. It's a dwarven outpost. Okay, so we're at a dwarven outpost, which is really really cool and something really interesting for those Guild Wars 2 players, and you will see why. I'm not gonna do a lot in Guild Wars 2 right now, but we will be in just a minute because it gets really cool. And that's where Guild Wars 2 or ArenaNet's like stuff comes in with, you know, the way that they do things. So by kind of how Guild Wars 2 does it, in order to stop siege engines, you have to get the engineers to stop, and then the whole thing breaks apart. So we don't actually destroy you might think that we need maybe to bring a powder keg or something to do that, but just killing the engineers will suffice to do that. So we've kind of stopped the siege, right? So they were sieging over there on the walls, but yeah, so we've kind of stopped that, which is fantastic. We have another mounted unit here, and we will kind of look at that right now. And that's a Dolyak rider. You will see that. And those are healers, and they actually ride Dolyaks. Do you see that? This guy's on a Dolyak, and he's a healer. He's a monk. But wouldn't that be cool? A Dolyak mount skin or something? This looks like a two-seater. Maybe not. The seat is like way up high. So, but yeah. So it's poor Dolyak, right? Like. Dolyak didn't do anything, but Winter Stay is interesting in Guild Wars 1. Winter Stay has a couple of PvP events. There's some quests that you can do. It's not as involved. I want to say that they did if you compare them, they did a fantastic job in Guild Wars 2 because there's a lot of cool stuff you can do in Guild Wars 2. There used to be a really, really cool event. I don't know if that's still something that they run. In Guild Wars 1 for Winter's Day, which was called Snowball Fight of the Gods or something like that. So you know how we have that PvP mode with the snowball fight? So they kind of had a version like that in Guild Wars 1, but it was for the gods. So it had to do with Winter's Day, the whole lore. There was a whole lore, like thing of lore for Winter's Day in Guild Wars 1 because they talk about how Winter's Day is the celebration of, or not the celebration, but it's like this event that signifies the struggle of you know, coming from the fall time and then going into the cold versus you know, which is represented by Grenth, right? The cold and harshness or whatever, going into the, I want to say it's like the spring, and it deals, is it Dwayna versus Grenth or is it Melander versus Grenth? It's one of them, and going into like the spring, so it's like two sides, right? It's like the dark side of the winter, and then the like, ooh, what's really nice about the winter. So they have like this whole thing with the gods that's involved. Obviously for Guild Wars 2 they had to get rid of that because we have 4 other races that have nothing to do with the gods, so they left that whole part with the gods completely out, right? Completely out. So we have a gate switch here. This gate switch will bring us to the bonus mission. You guys will see Ronok Stone Sledge. Wait, where is this leading us? I'm gonna go there in a minute because we gotta go. Yeah, I'm gonna go there in a minute. I want to do the side quest. There's a Dolyak hanging out here. Is that through here? Yeah, okay. So I gotta get a powder cake. I'm gonna do the bonus mission. The bonus mission, I want to say, is not very hard. So, but yeah. But the snowball fights of the gods, I used to run that like all the time. It was so much fun. And I think like the meta for it was like running an assassin with a spear. Was it a spear and a shield? That was like, and you get like speed, movement speed. I forgot what you even had to do in there. I don't remember what the rules even were. But this guy's our bonus. So this guy we have to talk to, and he's gonna ask us to do something. I forgot what he asked us to do, but so he says, "You freed me of me bounds, and I'm grateful to ye. Damn stone summit caught me sneaking around Maladar's fort." I wish I could. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. I'm gonna do some interface stuff here. No, go back. Ugh, damn it! No, I fucked it up. I'm trying to get this. Yes. Oh, it won't let me. Are you kidding me? I'm gonna just kind of move that above because I can't make it any smaller. And maybe move it down. There we go. That should be fine, right? Okay, there we go. I'll leave it like that, and then that way I can kind of read it. It caught me sneaking around Maladar's fort. So there's Maladar's fort is somewhere around here, which again in Guild Wars 2 we can't actually see it, sadly, because it's actually positioned right over here. And again, it's on top of the mountain, not inside of the mountain. So it's not some they've caught an ice drake they're planning to unleash on Grubel's Gulch. I'm not, so Grubel's Gulch, and that's what I was exactly afraid of. I'm not exactly sure what Grubel's Gulch, what the location actually is. Let me click on this real quick. Let me see if Grubel's Gulch is... Duplicate. Let me see if I can find about Grubel's Gulch. Sorry guys. I just want to find. Okay. Okay, got it. Got it. Never mind. We'll talk about Grubel's Gulch in a minute, okay? So Grubel's Gulch, just keep that in mind. That's an outpost we're gonna see, okay? We're gonna see Grubel's Gulch. And what was the part? Okay, so they want to unleash a drake. They have like a big drake that they want to unleash. If you find it and kill it, I'd be much obliged. I don't know if he says, talk to King Jalus Ironhammer. He will help you garner safe patches into the Gulch. I'll see you there. Now, he doesn't tell you where this creature is, but I think is it in there? I'm trying to remember this, guys, how this works. How does this work? I remember you had to drop bombs. Do we go in there? I don't know. We'll figure it out together. Yeah, we'll figure it out together. It's fine. Because I see enemies over there, so I think we go through here, don't we? And have to get another powder keg. By the way, this is the Master of Whispers, guys. You know how we have like a Master of Whispers now? This is the Master of Whispers before the Masters, before the Order of Whispers and the Order of Shadows split apart. He's the Master of pretty much the combined thing that used to be part. So I think, do we not? Because there's nothing in here. Guys, I'm trying to remember. Do I? Because you guys can see that there's stuff there, yeah? It's not just me. I'm trying to remember, guys. I had to blow something up somewhere. I want to say it's somewhere over here, but it could be wrong. Maybe it was where he is. I'm sorry, guys. We were figuring this out together. Do I have to blow? Oh, I have to blow this up right next to him. So that's something they don't tell you, right? They're just like, it's very Guild Wars one wasn't very handholdy, so they like, oh, it'd be nice if you could destroy the. But how do I get to the Drake? Well, I gotta blow this up. You guys saw the like wooden planks. Well, I blow up the wooden planks, and it gives me entrance to a cave behind them, and there is the Frostfire Driders. Frostfire Driders are like weird spider enemies that have like an open mouth. You'll see them in the underworld a lot. They're really gross looking. They're kind of weird. They're like demon type things, I want to say. They're like really gross. I hate them. I hate them very much. But yeah, so we kind of see a cave here. Do we see anything interesting in the cave? Let me take a look. Yeah, parts of this cave might be a representation. Of course, in Guild Wars 2, it looks completely different because there's actually like stuff inside, right? There's actually like things, like stuff is built up, you know? Okay. You know, there's actually like buildings in here. This is just an ice cave in Guild Wars 1, but I think they kind of, you know, if anything jumps out at you in here, you know, and we, you know what, we haven't done anything in Guild Wars 2, so we can kind of go to our own cave system. You can kind of see the top of the map there. There's a lot of like dredge stuff going on. We can kind of see the top of this cave. Obviously, there's not a lot going on there, but can I please just please let me out? Won't let me out. I gotta teleport. I won't let me teleport. Or I have to teleport. I think this is where the bonus is, but I have to see. Why is there a personal waypoint? Alright, so we'll go into the cave here, and maybe we'll see some resemblance to the two areas. Obviously, this is all controlled by dredge. But yeah, it's an ice cavern, you know, it's built out probably a little bit better. There's like actual stuff here, actual people here. In Guild Wars 1, there's not a lot going on, but it's kind of the same. You know, and then you have all this dredge stuff going on, so it's not very... Oh, come on. You can go to the way most southern part here as well. And this is more along the lines of pretty much the cavern that we're going through right now. So this is pretty much the cave that we're going through in Guild Wars 1. Obviously, it looks like nothing alike, you know. There's that Drake. It's Whisker Featherstorm, so that's the Drake that they want to unleash. He's a boss, level 14. He would be pretty tough if you're a first-time Guild Wars 1 player, and you're coming through with no heroes and nothing. Shouldn't be that big of a deal to my team, I don't think. No. Hey, and the bonus is done. So we kind of helped them out. Yeah, and that was the Drake that they wanted to unleash, and it's kind of the cave here. Again, no real, like, I've talked about this, like landmarks are far and few between. They don't really copy a lot of stuff. I mean, this kind of looks like when you're going through this cave a little bit, you know, when you're like looking through, like, you know, I mean, like specifically if I'm looking from like down here, like that kind of looks like that, right? A little bit with the stalagmite, like frozen stalagmites and stuff like that. Of course, it's been built out in Guild Wars 2, but yeah, it kind of looks the same a little bit. Has a little bit of the same feeling to it. So there you go. We have a. I totally forgot about this cave. So there you go. Um. So I hope you guys are having a good night. I hope you guys are having a good night. I had a great day. It was a long day. It was very hard, but I got really, you know, my night is great. I had a good day. Um, he just tells us to go to talk to Jealous, and you know, it's just, it feels really good to be appreciated. So when people like it, and specifically you, Emily, and the people in the channel, and you know, I talked about this. Like, we're at 400 subscribers on YouTube. Like, it's huge. You know, it's some. I checked this morning. I'm at 401 now. I'm just like, oh my god, that's really really nice. Let me check right now. See what it says. Yeah, 401. You know, it's really nice. It's really humbling, and I really appreciate it to have that many people. You know, for me, that's a big number, right? That's a huge number of people like that want to watch my shit. Like, it's great, and you know, I love it. But there, I think that's, you know, and I appreciate it, like I said, and you know, it's so nice and humbling. But when you have like physically you're interacting with people and they're just like, you know, and they're like your boss, right? And that person's your boss, and you know, you know, you work for him and all this stuff. Like, he doesn't really have to show you appreciation, like he pays you, right? But I got so much appreciation from my boss today, and it was really nice. It was really really nice. So I had a really good day. It was a lot of work. I had to work my ass off to get the appreciation, but you know, then, you know, if I didn't do that, it wouldn't feel right anyways, because what's the point, right? What's the point in doing that if you're not, you know, I don't want to get praised for doing nothing. You know what I mean? So because that would just be dumb. I mean, I'm too humble of a person, because if I got praised for something for nothing and they would just be praising me, I would feel really awkward about that, because I'd be like, but I didn't even do anything. And of course, when I work my ass off and I don't get appreciation, guess what I do? I don't work my ass off anymore. So, but yeah, no, I mean, you know, with the appreciation that I've been getting, I've been wanting to work my ass off. That's how it works, right? You show appreciation to your staff and to your workers and stuff, and guess what? They're gonna want to fucking work harder for you. All right, so we're here at Crocs Hollow. That might sound familiar to some of you. Some of you might be familiar. Some of you Guild Wars 2 players might be familiar with that name. Just slightly, if you're like very good about areas in Guild Wars 2 and stuff. It's very obscure, it's very random, it's very like out of the way, but we'll look. So the gates open because we have stopped the siege. Remember, they were sieging from the other side over there, where the, like on the side where the dwarven corpses are, they were shooting over here, and then they were shooting from this side, but we took care of that. So they're like, come in, come in, come in, come on, come on. We'll see a little, let's watch a little, there's Prince Rurik. Let's watch a little cutscene, and then after the cutscene we'll talk a little bit. So look at the structures. This is Crocs Hollow. It doesn't look cool, like the way the houses are and stuff. I think if I go too close to Prince Rurik, it'll trigger the cutscene. And there's King Jealous Ironhammer. So let's look at the interaction between the two of them. Oh, we can't actually go all the way in. Okay, cool. We can go up here as well. Ooh, all right. So let's not talk to King Jalis yet. Let's kind of explore. I don't think I've ever done this. So this is where the siege was in the other side. Remember, we were down there. That is where the boss was with the two firing thingies. We were down there. They were bombarding this side over here, the wall. Again, this is all dwarven structures. You see these in Guild Wars 2 all the time, underwater, in the mountains. You will find a ton of these, and this is all dwarven structures. They were all like, you know, the dwarves were like a people back in the day. You know, they were living here. So I love the little like stone fences and stuff like that. I wonder if I can like just walk around. Can I just walk around? I guess I can. I don't think I've ever done that. So we have King Jalis Ironhammer. Okay, King Jalis Ironhammer right here, the man himself. Let's go on a Revenant. Why the fuck not? We're here for the good shit. Okay, I'm gonna pick a Nord, closest thing to a dwarf that I can have. Yeah, so this is King Jalis Ironhammer. Okay, he's the king of the dwarves, the last king of the dwarves, mind you. Look at how he changes. His model like changes. So yeah, right here, legendary dwarf stance, right? For the let's pick something. I'm gonna pick an empty thing. Is it invoke? No, that's not even what I'm looking for. This is what I'm looking for. Dwarf, right? Look at this. That's King Jalis right there. Like, yeah, he doesn't have a golden crown. You kind of gave him a golden crown in Guild Wars 2, but that's him. That's the guy right there. You know, he's the guy that you like. You know, hold on. Let's go back into that Herald build. You know, he's the guy that pops up on top of you, and he I think he's even in like, isn't he like in? Doesn't he have like? Is there dwarven flags anywhere? I don't think we see those until later, maybe. But yeah, he kind of has like, watch this. There's the mountains, and he's like standing. You know, I don't know. He could be standing right here, like in Croc's Hollow. Who the fuck knows, right? So that's King Jalis for you. Okay, so he's here in Croc's Hollow. So let's go back to the Mesmer. I kind of like to keep my classes the same so we can kind of get the same touchy feel. Oh my god. Okay, well that was not a good idea. Should have probably gone somewhere else. Go. Walk. Sorry. I'm sorry guys. I don't have the map explored here with this guy, so because there's some cool stuff we're gonna have to look at. Like I said, there's so much. There's characters, there's monsters, there's, you know, all these things that we can compare. So we're gonna go across on our thing. Ooh, what do we have here? Stone Sledge Draft? What? There we go. Can we like, hold on a minute. Let me unfog. Is there more to unfog, or is that it? I think that's it. As you guys can see, Dwarven Ruins. Okay. What? Where are we coming from? We're coming from the... I want to say... Is this the gate? Is this the gate? This might... I mean, I don't know if this line... It doesn't 100% line up. It really doesn't. But this is Croc's Hollow, guys. That's what I'm trying to kind of get to. It's like buried underneath a lot of snow. So, but this is supposed to be Croc's Hollow. I don't know if this is supposed to be like this gate. I mean, as you guys can see, this gate is so huge in Guild Wars 1. In Guild Wars 2, it's really tiny. You can like walk through it, right? It's not that big. And you have some Dwarven houses, and you kind of get the same here with the mountains in the back and the big towers there in the back, like over here and stuff. Again, I don't know if this is maybe this gate over there. I don't know if that's maybe what they're doing. I don't know. I'm trying to see what's on the other side there, but yeah. But this is Croc's Hollow, guys. So this is supposed to be the ruins of Croc's Hollow, and you can actually, if you go, you can actually find some tombstones as well here. So let's read about the tombs of the dead people. Deldrimor carvings, runes, and here lies Vorak's Stronghammer of Deldrimor finest, cut down while defending Croc's ruin from Stone Summit invaders. The runes have appeared to raise. This is talking about Croc's ruin. So Croc's Hollow is going to become a ruin sometime between Guild Wars 1 and Guild Wars 2, and Dwarven people still live here. And they're defending this. And then this guy was one of them, Stronghammer. I don't know who he is. And then we have another one here. Spit upon this stone summit. A friend of Eldrimor, Vorak Stronghammer to spit. The gobble of spit. Spittle, it's a stone. Spark of flares. Yeah, a spark of magic flares. That's really interesting, isn't it? So they spit. We're spitting on a grave of a stone summit. And it kind of magic sparks for a second. And then it kind of dissipates. Hint of a lingering curse. The hint of a lingering curse. The impressive power of Deldrimor vengeance is documented in several texts in the library. The gravestone groans. So there's still like some kind of weird magic here. They're kind of speaking of this like curse and stuff. I'm guessing they're talking about like how they were stone dwarfs, right? At that point. So, but yeah, there we go. Let's talk to Prince Rurik. Let's get the little interaction here.
My good and excellent friends. I got pinned down here in Croc's Hollow when the Stone Summit attacked.
Good thing we arrived when we did.
I owe you many thanks. I would raise a pint of Dwarven ale in your honor, but there is still much work to do.
Hey, Vladimir, how are you?
Everyone is safely through Borless Pass.
Welcome.
Agreed. But now I must go back and lead our people to Grubel's Gulch.
So mind you, we hear Grubel's Gulch again. Keep that in mind, okay?
You go on ahead and clear the way. Secure a shelter for the night, and then we'll see about that ale.
As you wish, my prince.
Talk to King Ironhammer. He'll help you garner safe passage into the gulch. I will see you there.
The good dwarfs of Deldrim.
We do what we can to honor the old alliances.
Then the Deldrimor dwarfs will honor them as well. Your prince's request for passage through the mountains has been granted. Take this enchanted torch and light the beacon outside Grubel's Gulch. My brother, Breknar Ironhammer, will open the gate for you once he sees the arcane flame. Your people will be safe in the gulch for the night.
Thank you, King Ironhammer.
Anything for our friends. Now, waste no more time here. Night will be upon you, and your people will freeze.
Not right now.
Without shelter. Follow me to the gate.
Sorry, I'm trying to like wait for this thing to like start talking. I'm waiting on this I'm waiting on this cutscene to finish. Hold on, I can kind of. Okay, so the cutscene is finished. I'm not on Discord. Welcome, Vladimir. He's one of our new. He's one of the new streamers here, for Guild Wars. We're gonna do a shout out. I hope I spelled that correctly. There we go. So go check him out over there. I haven't seen any of his stuff. I don't know. He's new though, so which is really good. It's nice to have new people. So we're kind of, you know, I know you're kind of jumping in the middle of, you know, in the middle of all of this, but so we're kind of doing a comparison thing. And we're right now at Croc's Hollow, which, you know, I don't, you know, I'm comparing Guild Wars 1 and Guild Wars 2. So this is Croc's Hollow in Guild Wars 2. This is Croc's Hollow in Guild Wars 1. And we just got to hear King Jalus Ironhammer. He has a really, like, oh, yeah. I think he has a really cool Dwarven voice. That's why I didn't want to really say anything. Yeah, they can be. But yeah, so we kind of hear about like the old alliances. Really, it's really interesting. You know, what do they really mean by that? But we don't really know. But yeah, so we kind of split up with Prince Rurik because you know we're like the vanguard, so we're like ahead of the group, and Prince Rurik is like, I'll follow you with the villagers that are like in the carriages that are leaving Ascalon at this point. And they're kind of like, you know, come along this way, you know, and we're just like, okay, we're gonna defeat all the enemies here. And he gives us this torch. I don't know why we have to talk to him. It wants me to talk to him, and I did that. Okay, I don't know. We have this arcane flame that we have to carry around. So we leave Croc's Hollow, and again, remember Grubel's Gulch, right? Grubel's Gulch. So we're trying to get to Grubel's Gulch, and his brother Brecknar Ironhammer. Okay, so this is Jalis Ironhammer, and we're gonna go meet his brother. Our goal is right now to get. Where are we going? See this little structure over here. I thought you could kind of see where we needed to go, but I guess not. Okay, so we kind of the stone summon. So I didn't really talk about that. So we don't really get the background until much later, but there is a civil war happening in the mountains right now. Okay, we have the Stone Summit dwarves, which are the bad guys, and the Deldrimor dwarves, which are the good guys, and they're fighting each other. And we're actually going to help them later, much later on in the story. We're actually going to help them out a little bit. But yeah, this is happening right now as we're traveling. Obviously, we can't stop and help them because we're trying to escape the Char, right? And we're just kind of like moving across the mountains here to get away from the Char. We have this like really cool thing, but yeah, so they're miners as well. They mine stuff. So these are like they're like the ore that they mine is kind of getting transported across here, right? This is like some kind of ore deposit that's coming out. You could say, I mean, you know, you could speculate like maybe this was like, you know, Kralkatorig, like, you know, this looks very crystalline, maybe obsidian almost. So Primordus mayhaps, right? Something to think about. You know, because obsidian is, you know, it's like, what is like cooled lava or whatever. Comparison is fun. I mean, I'm having a good time. You know, we're doing the central Shiver Peaks right now, so we have done pretty much all of this, and then Yak Bend and over here. So it's super fun. I have a good time. People really like these streams, so not too many people here, but that's okay. I appreciate everyone that is here, though. I do. And yeah, so there's that. We have to light that over there. Is 2 on the left correct? Well, it's for me it's on the right, so I can be like on the right side because my camera is all flipped and shit. Well, not flip, but because my, you know, I'm looking at camera. But yes, 2 is on the right. So a lot of the areas I can't actually showcase because they're just like, yeah, they're just hidden. You know, there's just not. Croc's Hollow. There's Maladar's Fort. I think we went through Maladar's Fort or something. I don't know. It's like one of those places somewhere around. We're kind of. So we'll see some stuff in a minute. But yes, 2 is on the left for you guys, and then 1 is on the right. Or yeah, 1 is on the right. It's the other way around for me. 1 is on the left, 2 is on the right. We have to light the beacon. Luckily, I'm a caster, so I don't care about carrying a torch. We're fighting some dwarven people here again. We have a Wayfarer's Mark. I'm gonna grab that. But yeah, so we're kind of like storming through the mountains while there's a civil war happening. So it's very just like, what? Again, this area where I'm going right now is in Guild Wars 2 is pretty much like right here. And we can only go inside of the mountain. We can't go on top of it. This is all happening on top. What is happening here? Who just shot me? I'm flying way up in the air. Do we, like, are you kidding me right now? You can go even higher. I don't care. You can't get me up here. So yeah, so obviously there's nothing on the mountains there. We're not supposed to go up there. So again, comparing those 2 areas doesn't quite work out. But yeah, here we are. We're kind of signaling. Signaling. That sounds weird when I say it. But we're giving this gate. Is that the gate? No. The gate is to the left. That gate over there. So we're trying to get into that gate over there. We would be going, because once I you guys can kind of see the path right here. Oh my god, can't show anything. That path right here, it's blocked, but once I light those torches, it's gonna lead us up that way, and that is where Grubel's Gulch is, up there. That's Grubel's Gulch. Grubel's Gulch is a really cool, like, Grubel's Gulch to me, and you guys will see it, but to me, Grubel's Gulch is like a, if you watch like a Christmas movie, it's like where like Santa Claus would live or something. That's what it looks like. It's really cozy and really cute. If I'm thinking on the right town, I think I am, but yeah, it's one of those towns where I'm like, oh, this is adorable. It's like, was the Grinch filmed here? Like that kind of thing, you know, so. All right, we light all 3 of these, and it lights the big one. And we have finished the mission with that. There's not going to be that much going on in 2 right now, guys, because, again, and I'll show you guys the map here, we're moving into territory that is not available to us in Guild Wars 2, okay?
Now is our chance. We make for Grubel's Gulch.
So this is King Rurik leading the Escalonian refugees. This is where the path was blocked off. Remember where I just pointed out the path is blocked up to the gate? That's where they're starting from. They're going up to Grubel's Gulch. Great camera work. Great camera work. So janky as fuck.
The fighting has stopped. They must have had too much ale tonight.
No, that was no brawl. I could swear I heard the shouts of men.
What would men be doing on Shiverpeak?
I do not know. These are strange days.
Sir, the beacon has been lit.
Impossible. The Stone Summit would never abandon their posts.
The flames burn brightly, sir. And there is more. A band of men are marching for the gulch. They're approaching the gate.
So, it was men who lit the beacon.
Whoever it was, they had to get through Dagnar's men to do it. Any enemy of the Stone Summit is a friend of Deldrimor. Open the gate! Captain, prepare quarters!
Alright, so this is King Jalus's brother, Breknar. And we'll see a little bit more of him later on.
I am Breknar Ironhammer,
Breknar.
Lord of
This is Breknar Ironhammer.
I am Rurik of Ascalon. Your brother, the king, speaks highly of your hospitality.
My brother tells the truth. What brings you here?
I'm leading these refugees over the Shiverpeaks. We wish to cross Boreless Pass into the human kingdom of Kryta.
Well then, Rurik of Ascalon, welcome to Grubel's Gulch. You are free to stay with us as long as you will.
Thank you, mountain friend. Rin is forever in your debt.
Remember, at this point, Rin was still the capital. Yes, it burned down. We learned this last week. So you guys can watch that stream if you haven't. It's on YouTube. But Rin is still practically, yes, it's burned down, but it's still the capital. So yeah, this is Grubel's Gulch. So we've moved, this is where we lit the beacon, and we moved up the pass into this little town. Okay, it says the Frost Gate because the Borderless Pass leads through here, leads through Google. But look at this little town, isn't it cute? It's like this little town, and these, you know, dwarven people are living here, and they have these little houses, and you know, whatever. And there's like giant like thing in the middle, and they just like hang out here. Like, I don't know, this is really cool. Like, I'd want to spend my winter vacation here, right? I don't know what this says. It's just a sword and an axe. I don't know. But yeah, so really cool. So here we are. And I guess we could get some mission information. I didn't do that earlier with the Borderless Pass. I think Larth and Irontongue talks about some stuff. Maybe? Hello. We're on our way. Well. It's been a long time since I've seen a human in the Shiverpeak, so it brings you to Grubel's Gulch. We're on our way. You've made it this far, but you still have a long way to go. We can give you safe passage in the lands we control, but the journey through the Frost Gate is in your own hands. Lands you control? The only way to Kryta is through a stretch of frozen canyon ruled by the Stone Summit. There will be no negotiating with them. Their leader, Dagnar Stonepade, does not see eye to eye with his cousin, King Jalis Ironhammer. So, that's what they just did. They vomited all these names on us. I need to look at something real quick. 1 second. Dagnar Stonepade Pate. Oops. Okay. I'm on the wrong wiki, I guess. Guild Wars 2 wiki. I'm looking for Dagnar Stonepade. Because what I'm looking for specifically is Dagnar's badge? That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the tomb. There's a tomb somewhere of Dagnar, but I don't know where it is. And they won't tell me where. This is the tomb. Okay. Sorry, guys. I had to look up some stuff. Dagnar is the cousin. So, remember, King Jalis, he's the king of all the dwarves, but they have a civil war going on, and that's between the Stone Summit and the Deldrimor. Why do they have a war going on? Well, we don't really know the details, but we do know that the Stone Summit, who are the bad guys, they're all about slavery. They're the ones that, like, enslave the Dredge, blah, 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 all the stuff. While the Deldrimor dwarves, who are the good guys, they're kind of like, fuck that shit, we don't want it, right? So that's kind of where the fight is going on there. So the cousin of the king is the leader of the bad guys, right? And that's Dagnar. So is the cousin. Indeed, small world, eh? Dagnar sees the humans as a taint. Oh, maybe it's the humans. I thought it had to do with slavery, but I guess we're learning more. He thinks it will bring ruin upon us. His cousin, the king of the Deldrimor dwarfs, sees things differently. He believes that any alliance that can make alliances he can make will only create a stronger dwarven nation. By allowing you safe passage, King Jalis has made it abundantly clear that he means to fight the Stone Summit to the bitter end. Dagnar would rather die than allow a procession of human refugees to traverse their mountains. He will no doubt have his eye on the Frost Gate. So what's the Frost Gate? It's the key to crossing through the Shiverpeaks over into Kryta. The Frost Gate guards the way through Borless Pass. There are 3 mechanisms that operate the Frost Gate. You can find the lever. If you find the lever, you can activate each one of them in turn. But the Stone Summit will do all they can to stop you from getting through. What must I do? Blah blah blah. And we go through. So this mission is. So we're in Gribble's Gulch, but the mission is called Frost Gate because we have to go down here. I don't quite know where it is on the map, but there's a huge stone door that we have to go through, and it's called the Frost Gate. Now, there's something that they do a hint at of in Guild Wars 2, and I will kind of talk about that in a minute. But before, okay, yeah, let's actually go. Yeah, let's go into the mission. Let's worry about the mission first, and we'll go through there. Anvil Rock? Oh, I can actually get to Anvil Rock through here. I didn't. Anyways, doesn't really matter. That's the other area. That's the area right, like I said, over here. Again, we can't really see a lot, but let's start the mission here anyways. Let's go in. So they're telling us that we have to go through this is the frost gate. Keep calling it stone gate. It's a frost gate. Okay, frost gate. These are the three levers the three chains we have to activate with the lever, and we have to get through there. Okay, so that's kind of our mission. Again, we kind of get to see the snow here, and yeah, we're kind of journeying through. Again, we can't do anything in Guild Wars 2 because there's really not anything in particular that we can be like pointing out that looks like whatever. Like I said, I do want to get through the mission because there's a couple of things I do want to show in Guild Wars 2, but I think if I show you guys stuff in Guild Wars 1 first and then go to Guild Wars 2, that'll be better. The map's closing, but... So Prince Rurik is saying, these stone summit ballista are guarding the paths to the... So, Prince Rurik is nowhere near here. So, where the fuck is this coming from? It's coming from... somewhere we can visually find, I believe. Ow, really? Knockdown? Oh, please. Such a pain in the neck. It was already a pain in the neck in Guild Wars 1. Prince Rurik, where art thou? I think is he down here? So we lost. That's Gruel Scourge there. So the really cool thing about this mission is while you're journeying, you're kind of like up above the refugees, the Ascalonian refugees. They're kind of like traveling beneath you on like, oh, this is a boss, but he's just called Minotaur. Interesting. There is like different ways, different times that you can see them. I guess not right now. But yeah, you can kind of like look down and you can see the refugees and they're kind of like, we need help. We can't continue because they're shooting at us. So that's kind of what he's saying is like the ballista are shooting at us. So, I think that might be from like over here. Yeah, I think if we go further over here, we'll see them. So let's go up here. Again, it's been a long time since I've done these missions. So I'm like trying to do it all from memory. I'm like, where do I go? What do I do? There's the Ascalonian. There's Prince Rurik over there. So, you guys are so annoying. All of you die. Alright, so Prince Rurik is down here. And so they came up this path over here, which is kind of like they came from Grubble Scourge over on this side. We went the other side, and we're kind of the paths are crossing. So they have these soldiers here. I thought there was like actual carriages that you could see, but they're getting shot at by those ballistas right there. Do you see all that ground being moved up? It's from the ballistas. So they're trying to travel through here. There's like this little path that goes along the mountains here. And we have to help them. So once we do that, they can move through here. So now they can move through. And the gate, coincidentally, the gate opens. They're just like, fuck, our forces were defeated, so blah, blah, blah. Again, the Stone Summit don't like us crossing through the mountains, and they're just like, no, we're gonna fuck you guys up because we don't like like humans specifically traveling through our mountains. They're not a fan of humans. So the Ascalonian soldiers over here and Rurik are going up there. Thought we see a carriage at some point, but I could be wrong. Okay, so Prince Rurik is stuck once again. He's stuck over there. Because again, right over there you can kind of see there's another ballista shooting. So we have to like move over here and get to the other side over there and get to those ballistas there. But look at the little structures here. This is the dwarves kind of digging out, you know, they're mining ore and stuff. They're building weapons and building structures and stuff, and that's kind of like what they're doing here in the mountains. So you can kind of see their little structures and their fun little things that they do in the mountains. Again, we can't see too much of that. We can kind of keep looking at Grok's Hollow or Croc's Ruin or whatever you want to call it. In Guild Wars 2. It was so hot again, guys. Today was like really hot again. It's like I step outside and I'm like fried. It's like I just melt. Alright. Bam. So here we are. There's the things up there. You have to destroy that, and then that gate will open for us. And they will continue journeying through here. And they will be going down here. They will go along there. And they will go up that pass on the side while we go around this mountain the other way. So they're going to go the bottom way. We're going to go the top way over there. So it's kind of, we're kind of like zigzagging through, right? Like snaking our way. They're taking the lower path. We're taking the upper path. Alright, so that guy's gonna die. He's not gonna survive that. Right. So now they can journey through. And like I said, we're gonna go back over here this way. And he's gonna actually cross below us and move up into that cave up there. And we have a boss here. Die. Die. What a boss! What are we doing? Oh, look, a little sled. It's like a sleigh. Take that down that mountain. Death waiting to happen right there. And no, I'm not making a video on dwarven vehicles. Okay, there's only like 2. It's like I've done one on Char Tanks. If you guys want to see some cool stuff on Char Tanks, it's over on the YouTube channel. I've made some cool stuff on there, but I don't think I'm gonna do another video like that. Not anytime soon. So we're kind of moving up. There is where they are. They're on. So now they're moving on the upper path. So they're moving on the upper path now. We're on the lower path, right? Because they're over there. I don't know. What's on this side? What's over here? I don't know what the bonus is this time. Oh, look who it is, guys. Is Warnock Stone Sledge again. And I guess he needs our help again? I'm guessing he does. So he was the guy that we helped the last mission. He was the guy that we did the bonus mission, which we get a steel key. Drops. Alright, so this time he has another bonus mission for us. And he's like, oh, can you do this and this and this? Hello. Maybe not. Just me like I've been caught again. The Stone Summit are trying to build a new and devastating siege weapon. King Ironhammer sent me to steal the plans. There's a decrepit ballista pointed to the east. Take me to it and I'll help you blast open the doors that keep safe the plans. Alright, so we gotta take this guy, keep him safe, to the east. To the east? How do I get east? Was there... Don't tell me there was another path out there. So the bonus mission this time around is to... Wait, was there a path out of this cave? Because he said take me east. Hello? There's nothing east of this. I'm gonna have to like look around. I'm not sure that's well, he said that's pointed east, so I don't know if that means east or if what did he say exactly? There's a decrepit ballista pointed to the east. Okay, well, did we see a decrepit ballista? Did anyone see that? I don't think I saw that. We're gonna continue our journey here. I think it comes up after this part. I might be wrong though, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I won't finish the bonus and that's okay as well. We have a little friend with us. He joins us. Well, not Prince Rurik, but we have this guy with us. What is he? What is he? He is a level 10. Okay. Level 10. We'll keep him safe, no worries. We have 2 ways to go. Hello, 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 hello. Okay, so again, they come out of the cave on the more southern path, or lower path, and Ballista are once again shooting at them. Fun. So we have to make them stop, but this time around, guess what? We're getting shot at as well, so we have to be very careful. That is the other path, by the way, going down there. No, don't stop. You guys are gonna get shot at. Oh my god. Alright, kill everyone. Kill them all. Is that gate gonna open if I kill this guy? Probably. So see, this one is shooting down there. I think this is the path east. How does that open now? Wait, is this... Do I need to bring him here? Does he blow this gate open for me? Or... Do you blow this open? Is that what you do? He's not doing anything. Okay. Maybe we have a boss here. Oh. Oh, look, there they are.
Well done. The refugees are weary, but they've made it this far. We're now very close to the Frost Gate and the safety of Kryta, but we cannot yet take rest. One of my men, Captain Greywind, tells me he once traveled this path. He says the Frost Gate can be opened, but it will not be easy.
So that's the Frost Gate right there.
There are 3 mechanisms that lift the massive stone. You must find a gear lever in the small town ahead. Use the lever to engage each of these mechanisms, and the gate will open. Once it's open, it'll be up to you to lead the refugees through to safety. My men and I will hold back the dwarves as long as we can. I will rejoin you once the last of the refugees is safely through. The stone summit will not yield the Frost Gate quietly. May Dwayne smile upon us.
Alright, so he kind of explains what we have to do, which we already kind of knew, right? We were already explained earlier, but again, we split up. So Rurik is going to go back to where the refugees are, and which is the, like, we came through this gate. Is the guy still with me? Oh, he is. What about this gate over here? How does this gate open? And what about this? What about this over there? Can I get there? Is that's the bonus mission, guys. That's the bonus mission over there. Let's do the bonus. I remember now how to do it. You have to go down here. Let's take the long way around, guys. We're gonna do the bonus mission. Why? Because I want to. Yeah, you come down here, and then this is the decrepit. That's the decrepit. I want to say the decrepit one that we kind of have to go there, and I think he's stuck up there. Maybe I just need to get close to it. We'll have to see. I think he got stuck on something, the guy, so I might not be able to actually finish this. Yeah, they're all gonna die. So I think... Yeah, our dwarven friend has to actually operate this fucking thing. And he's not coming with us. What in the heck? Why doesn't he want to come with us? Why is this always happening to me when I'm trying to do... Look at him. stuck up there. Welcome to Guild Wars fucking 1. NPCs getting stuck on nothing. On air. Like, this air's too thick, I can't go through here. That's what it feels like. It's like, what the fuck, dude? It's like, you must go on without me, I can't. Dude, Ronak, what the hell is wrong with you? Can you come out of whatever the fuck hole you're stuck in? Hello? Oh, now he wants to. Alright, we're gonna go back over there. Come on. Come on, little friend. I know you have short little feet, but I do have a speed buff, so let's go. There we go. For like, I don't know, 5 seconds. Sorry, guys. So back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I do want to do that bonus. I kind of want to, while I'm here, you know what I mean? I'm like, might as well show all this stuff off. So you guys can see how missions worked in Guild Wars 1. Did he get stuck on anything? Nope, he's still behind us. Alright, so I guess I gotta bring him to the firing lever here, and he's gonna blow open that gate. I'm guessing. Is that right? Is that what you're gonna do? It should work now. You can fire it at the doors. Okay, so I fire it. Boom, and those doors over there open. Bam. Alright. After you blast open the doors, return the secret plans to me. So instead of coming with us and doing his goddamn fucking job, this motherfucker is gonna sit right over there on his stupid ass and wait for me to bring his stupid plans to him. Great. Great. Thank you, sir, for this awesome whatever the fuck you want. So we go up there, and then we have to get plans. I don't know, some kind of plans for some kind of weapon they're building. Let's kill them all. There's like 300 ice golems over here. I don't know what the heck's going on there. Bam! They're all dead. But I still got frozen and chilled and all this stuff. Alright. No, not this guy. Bam! And bam. And there's a chest. So, again, it's kind of like the bonus is more of like just go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth kind of thing. And no, I was hit. So we have the secret siege weapon plans, and then we go back around. Can you, like, kill them? What the hell are you guys doing? Jesus. Like, I know you're better than... There's no auto-loot either in Guild Wars 2, so money's just on the ground, items are just on the ground. I'm not collecting any of this, because... Trust me, it's not worth it. It's just wasting more time. At this point, you know what? I'm committed. I'm committed, right, to the whole doing the bonus mission. So I'm gonna. You know what I'm saying? It'll get after this mission. It'll go a lot smoother because we don't have any more missions to do after this. So you know, traveling through these parts over here is gonna be a lot easier. So we can kind of look at that stuff, and we don't have to follow directions and follow mission things, and we don't have any cinematics or anything like that. So it'll be fine. So it'll be just... Because I'm like looking at the clock, I'm like, dude, I spent 2 hours doing 2 missions. Pretty bad. Pretty bad. Alright, here you go, lazy bum. Yay, and he just says, any friend of Ronark Stone Sledge is a friend of the Daldramore Dwarves. Many thanks, friends. So, we kind of get to hang out with this, like, weird side character. We did help him a couple of times with the, you know, he's supposed to be, I don't know, some kind of spy or infiltrator or something. Look at these white mountains. You used to not be able to see down there like that. The draw distance has been expanded over the years. All right, so we do that. That's a side mission, really dumb. Some of the bonus missions, specifically in the base game in Prophecies, they're really lame. I want to say they get a lot better later on. Like I like a lot of the ones in what's it called? Like Elona, in Nightfall, which is like the Path of Fire area. Like, to me, and Prince Rig is just standing in front of this gate. Whatever, dude. We gotta go down here. Because in that you have to like usually defeat, like, the bonus is defeating some kind of enemy, and the more, like, if you defeat all of these specific enemies in an area, then you get, like, so to say, the best reward, the gold reward or whatever. And that's, I don't know, it's just better than having to do some weird side quest that had nothing to do with the story at all. So here's the gear lever, and they somewhat introduce this idea of, like, you take this thing and you stick it inside of the mechanism and you activate it, and then it pulls the chain, which in the end then opens the gate. It kind of introduces like a one-time mechanic to you. You can't actually, there's nothing further over there. You can kill these guys, and we're gonna go down here, and eventually this gate will open. You guys will keep seeing this chain being pulled out, and I swear to you, like, it's gonna open. It looks like it's not, and I always doubt it every time, but it will open. I was like, maybe I need to find a like a keg or something, but there's, you guys saw there was nothing around. We did the side mission and stuff like that, and I don't know why it takes so long either. It's just really wild to me. Come on, let me in, please. There it is. See, I don't know why. I don't know why they do that. So then this is the very last part of the mission, okay? They don't really, like, they introduce this concept to us, but we're not, like, there's 3 lever mechanisms, and we have a lever in our hand. Oh my god, what am I supposed to do with that? But yeah, let's kind of look across here. So there's an ice cave over there, with a little, like, again, this is, remember how we did the, there's some Ascalonian soldiers down there, but remember how we blew up that thing that had the wooden planks on it? It looks just like that, doesn't it? So, but that's the frost gate, so there's a path through, and there's an ice cave that leads us to Beacon's Perch at the end. Or that's how it's supposed to work anyways. So all the enemies have been defeated, and we can just, like, go through. Again, we just have to see that the chains are moving. Once these chains move, and we wait for a long enough period of time, we'll be able to go through the gates. And that'll be the end of that mission, and then I will show you guys some stuff in Guild Wars 2 that you're really gonna love. Well, if you like the lore. If you like the lore, you're really gonna love this, okay? You're gonna love it. Some cool shit we can talk about. Because we got some name droppings, we're introduced to some characters, we were introduced to some stuff, and yeah, so as you guys can see, 2 of the chains are being pulled. The left and the right. Now we just gotta get the middle one. They get some enemies coming here. They kind of storm us with boss monsters, trying to make it, like, really hard. You know, it's the last mission of the Shiverpeak Mountains for now, so they're kind of like, ooh, this is, you know, this is like the final thing, right? We could probably follow this path. I don't know how far down. It goes all the way. It goes into nothing. It literally leads to a dead end down there, so there's nothing there. They open this gate, probably leading into a dead end as well. I'm guessing there's probably a dead end. I mean, what else would it be? We just gotta wait for the chain to be done with the thing. So it's smoking now. Do you see that? This just stopped. Does it start smoking too, or it does? It's smoking. Do they smoke before too? Oh, they smoke while they're working. Okay. They smoke while they're working. It's funny. Yeah, I know. And there it is, guys. So there's the refugees. Let's watch this last cinematic here.
The frost gate is open. Go now. We haven't much time.
So that was our character, and this is Rurik. He said he's gonna hold off the storm summits while the refugees can go through. So this is the refugees in the carts going through, and Prince Rurik holding off the stone summit here. Remember, that was the path up top. That was above the canyon.
What was that?
These mountains belong to the Stone Summit, human.
So that's Dagnar on his Drake. He causes an avalanche.
Rurik! No! You cannot save me. Get them to Kryta. Hurry, go!
Your punishment for trespassing is death.
And that's where Rurik meets his end, right? Very unceremonious, very just like, what? Yeah, he just gets killed by Dagnar. He gets, you know, trying to save his people, trying to get them. So we're at Beacon's Perch. So this is where the gate is, where the frost gate is. This is the little canyon right here. That is where Rurik was just killed, and we somehow venture through there, and we end up in Beacon's Perch. There's no, I don't think there's an actual like physical connection between those two areas, but in lore these connect. So somewhere around here was the exit to Beacon's Perch, which is Beacon's Perch being the very last outpost before you kind of start descending down. There's an ice cave right here called Griffin's Mouth, and that's pretty much the connection between the like tundra-esque Daldrimor Bowl, which we'll go to later, and then the Scoundrel's Rise, which is like the beginning of Kryta, and it's very like cinematic again, the way that you kind of you know how we like started going into the mountain and started snowing and darker, and we kind of get that same scene transition as we go out, where we all of a sudden see these beaches with like, it's Kryta, it's green, you know, whoa, it's crazy, right? But yeah, so that is how Rurik dies. It's very just like there, right? It's very just like Master Sable, and he's one of the characters that's kind of a lot that comes along with us. And you would from this point on, you wouldn't do a mission, but you would take this quest and you would do the 2 Kryta missions. That quest that would take you along the path all the way into the gates of Kryta, which is the next mission. So you kind of do a quest chain of going there. But yeah, so Dagnar Stonepade, you guys kind of saw the color change. So when he's on his Drake, he's actually an Elementalist, which is the red aura. But then when he gets off, which you never fight him, you fight him later on. I will tell you guys that. You fight him later on at a very cool location as well. We'll talk about that at a different stream, actually. You fight him when he's on his Drake. You never fight him when he's off his Drake. But when he's off his Drake, he's actually a warrior. He wields an axe and he's a warrior, and he kills Rurik, right? So let's go into Guild Wars 2, because I do want to talk about some stuff. So this is kind of the end for the dwarves for now in Guild Wars 1, because we're going to do a whole journey. We're going to get introduced to the White Mantle, the whole thing with the Mersat, the Shining Blade. Like, all these things are happening in Kryta. And we're kind of leaving behind the Shiverpeaks until much later, when we actually come back and we help them in their fight against the Stone Summit. But yeah, so I do want to show you guys, again, this is not an area that is accessible to us in Guild Wars 1, but we do have the area that is called King Jalus's refuge, right? And that is his tomb. That is where he was buried as far as I understand it, and it's just over here. It's just again just a callback. This is somewhat close to Croc's Hollow. Maybe Croc's Hollow is where he was born. You know, he was hanging out there. Like, you know, was he hanging out there for a reason, or you know, is his family from there or something? Like, we don't really know, but this is pretty close. So this is like his tomb here. This is where he was buried, and yeah, we don't actually get to see, like, we don't really get to interact with him or anything in here, but yeah, there's really nothing. There's just some looters here trying to loot his tomb. So we have that, and then also I will tell you guys, so this is over here, right? Well, what's over here, and this is something that you will only find right over here. This is something you will only find if you take the Priory path in your personal story in Guild Wars 2, because Siren, your mentor from the Priory, actually, she brings you to this cave at some point, right? And she brings you here, and there's a really just like, she drops this like kind of, I mean, for the Guild Wars 1 player, this is like, as you guys can see, it's dwarven structures again, right? We kind of see all these things are dwarven built. And we go through, and this is the Windy Cave, and she talks about like, oh, you didn't learn this trick? How she like kind of like, she just ventures across, she kind of like flies across here with no issue, and she's like, oh, well, I guess you're gonna have to actually walk through here or whatever, right? And we go along here, and then there's a part where you get to this part right here, and you go around the corner. And again, like I said, you will have to play your personal story and see that. When you get to this part, you actually get introduced to a drake. And there's a drake sitting, it's a ghostly drake. And she's like, oh, it hasn't noticed us. It's like sitting down right down below here in the story mission. Oh, great. Really? They just did that? Okay. I guess, I suppose that's okay. Let me just kill them all real quick, because I'm pissed off. Now you're pissing me off. And you can't do that when I'm on my Mirage, okay? What? Ugh, you have a fucking altar. I hate the fucking altars that these guys spawn. Does he... What? How is he still invulnerable? Oh, the altar didn't... Are you done? Are you vulnerable now? Yay, he is! Okay, sorry guys. Get interrupted. I can't. Can I mount here? I can, as soon as I get out of combat. Can I get out of combat, please? Please? I'm in combat with that guy up there. Fantastic. I love it. Love everything about it. Yeah. So anyways, sorry about that little interruption, but we come over here, and she talks about this drake. So that is the drake that... This is Dagnar's tomb. Okay, the Windy Cave in Borla's Pass, I'm sorry, Lornar's Pass. We just went through Borla's Pass. Lornar's Pass, the Windy Cave is Dagnar's tomb. Okay, that is where he was buried, and she talks about that. She talks about how he is this evil dwarf, and he was buried here, and that's his drake. So the drake we just saw, we actually get to see it in Guild Wars 2. We don't actually get to see Dagnar. But we do get to see his tomb. And then what was the other thing? Oh, one more thing. Okay, so that's kind of, and we have a Lornar's Pass as well, as you guys can see right here. The keen eyes. Again, I always talk. I love people who have very keen eyes. You guys don't see it right now. I can actually leave the. We have a Lornar's Pass as well in Guild Wars 1, and it's in the same location as this Lornar's Pass. So Beacon's Purge, I believe, is actually right here, and I'll look at that in just a second as well. Let me make sure that I'm correct on that. I'm not. See, I'm wrong on that. Close. Close but no cigar, my friend. Close but no cigar. So let's talk a little bit about the Frostgate. The Frostgate. So we're in Lornar's Pass. I will be exploring this. This will be part of the southern Shiverpeaks. That's gonna be a really long stream. I'm gonna have to take a long time for this stream, because there is a lot to talk about. Because there is something up here that I want to talk about. This, again, for the people that know their areas in Guild Wars 2, I want to talk about that. I do want to talk about the down here, Thunderhead Keep, Ice Flow, Draknar's Forge is going to be huge. And then there's something right up here for those of you that can kind of guess what's in this area over here. If you look at the map in Guild Wars 2, you will kind of know what I'm talking about. And then over here, of course, Lorna's Pass, and there's like 20 million things that we're going to talk about. So Beacon's Purge, but yeah, Lorna's Pass. So let's go back to Beacon's Purge, and we'll read about Beacon's Purge. Okay, I'm getting kind of cold. The AC is blowing right on my arm. I gotta move that a little bit. All right, so let's read about Beacon's Purge. Named for the legendary dwarven warrior who single-handedly held off the Great Hill Giant invasion of 534 AE. Beacon's Purge runs north and south through the Shiverpeak Mountains. Today is this treacherous pass is controlled by the Stone Summit, and as such is considered hostile to human travelers. Runs north through south. I guess they're talking the Deldrimor Bowl, I guess, and Lornar's Pass. I guess part of it is Beacon's Purge, right? It's like the travel from the central. That's your path that you can take from the central Shiver Peaks to the southern Shiver Peaks. You would have to travel through Beacon's Purge if you were looking to go there. That would be like your stop on the way to get there. So I will kind of show you guys where the Ice Gate mission, I'm sorry, I keep on getting the name wrong. It's either like Frostgate or Ice Gate, and I just like one of the two. So it actually takes you through this area right here, okay? And it's kind of like it takes you through here. The physical Frostgate, so yeah, it's like right over here. That's kind of where we traveled just now. None of it is recognizable, I don't think. Like, if you go to an area over here at Valse Lake, like, none of that looks like anything we just saw. There's no dwarven structures. Like, look at this. There's no dwarven structure. There's actually, like, Codan structures over there. But there's no dwarven structures here. There's nothing that looks like the Frostgate is physically supposed to be right over here. There's nothing that looks like it. I mean, you get this like weird splotch of something on the map here, but it's supposed to be like over here, and there's nothing there. Yeah, it's literally supposed to be right where I marked, and obviously there's nothing there. There's no remnant of it whatsoever. There's just like mountains there. And even if we go further north, like none of it really looks like, again, you know, the Shiver Peaks. They have a lot of like really cool areas where like, oh, okay, that's a callback to that. But yeah, this is very much the emptiest part of Snowdon Drifts, which is like the middle part. That's kind of where the mission was. There's nothing here. There's nothing that screams dwarven. Again, Norn structures. That's Norn houses. That's under dwarves. There's nothing up here. Okay, there's nothing. There's a little town over here. Nothing. So that's why I'm kind of like, I just kind of skipped through it because there's really nothing. But let's look at something that does have, again, a little again, it's not the same. It's kind of like remember the tower that we talked about earlier, the tower with you know, that was in Frostgorge Sound and stuff like that, that, you know, used to be just like a hill where you started a mission, right? So, you know, look at these structures here. You know, again, it's like dwarven structures, little houses. There's a lot of like walls around, so this is very defensible, I want to say, because there's a lot of like natural mountains around, and dwarven people live here, and you know, you have this little cool bridge here and stuff like that. And up there you have like a signal fire, so if they're in trouble, you know, oh, can I go all the way up there? Can you go all the way up there? Wait a minute. No way. They block you. They must block you. Can I go all the way up there? I might have done that at some point. Beacon's Purge. For those of you that, you know, as I venture around here, as I walk around, we'll look a little bit at Beacon's Purge. Beacon's Purge was a great. So as you guys notice, we've kind of been going through these missions. So this is early on in the game still, right? This is very early on. This is before you even get to Lion's Arch, which was like the original game's main hub, kind of like how Guild Wars 2's main hub is Lion's Arch. Like we haven't even gotten to the main hub, so to say, right? And you kind of journey around. You see all the dotted lines as all the missions that we do. So we're gonna from Ascalon, you go across the Central Mountains, then you go into Kryta, you go into the Muguma Jungle, then you go to the coastal areas over here. You journey all the way to the desert. And then from the desert, you go all the way back to the southern Shiver Peaks, then for the final bit here. So in the Shiver Peaks, you're still kind of in the beginning of the game. And as you guys saw, you would have to journey all the way, do all these missions, all these quests, journey through all this stuff, go to the desert, and then you get teleported to Drachna's Forge. Right, and that's how you get to like there. You can get endgame armor, you can get elite armor. Like that's where like you hit max level pretty much. You're supposed to kind of hit max level when you hit that point. So it's kind of like where the end of the base game starts. Okay, now there's people that do runs through because we have Lornar's Pass, which is very, very treacherous. There's a lot of enemies. There's a lot of high level enemies for Beacon's Purge and stuff. So because your NPCs that are in your party will be the level, the NPCs, not the players. The players will be whatever level, but the NPCs that you take with you, like the henchmen and stuff, they will be whatever level they were when you put them in your group. So Beacon's Purge, for example, Beacon's Purge has henchmen that are level 10, right? But if you go through Lornar's Pass, you might encounter level 20 enemies down here, and they'll just one-shot you, and you'll be dead, right? So there is called these runs that people used to do from Beacon's Purge all the way down to Drachna's Forge for people to get their like endgame armor really early. So you'd make a new character in Ascalon, go through the mountains here, end in Beacon's Purge, and then pay someone to take you all the way down to Drachna's Forge. And that was like a thing that people made money with, right? That was just like, you'd see people that are like, running from Beacon's Purge to Drachna's Forge for whatever amount of gold, and people would do that like all the time, right? And this is I want to say this, yeah, this is actually the path they would take. You would exit out of these gates here. This is where we were standing earlier when you exit Lornar's Pass. You go underneath this bridge and you follow all the way down, and then right around, I think around the corner over there, there's a cave that you go through, and it takes you all the way down to that area, like way past that area in the middle of nowhere, and we can kind of get to, ooh, I love this. We get like a bird's eye view of the area. I don't think I've done this. I have done this before, but I haven't done it in a long time. So, but we kind of look at this. We kind of get to look across the Shiverpeak Mountains. Look at that, beautiful, right? I like the skyboxes in Guild Wars. They're very, very pretty. So, I'm sorry, I'm dumping all this info on you guys. If you don't like that, I'm sorry. I apologize. But yeah, so that's kind of like Beacon's Purge right there. So in Guild Wars 2, this is Beacon's Purge, guys. It's Norn, right? It's a little Norn settlement, a little camp. More camp. It's not really like a town or anything, I mean, Norn are like hunters, so they don't really like, Holbreck is like an exception to the rule, I want to say, where they actually have like big gatherings. But yeah, this is Beacon's Purge, guys. This is where Beacon's Purge, not directly right here. If you actually look at the map, it is actually over here. This is actually Beacon's Purge. There's nothing here. Okay, there's no structures, there's no anything. Again, a kind of ArenaNet sometimes does a really good job. Like, I wish they would have had some kind of like destroyed dwarven structure, like just one of these, like, big walls, gates, towers, whatever, like just something in the mountains. You know what I mean? I'm looking northwest right now, so I would be looking like this way, right? I would be looking at it this way, and then maybe they could have like in here, like, when you look over here, you see this gate, this gate that you want to lead me into the other area. They could have like a little gate in here or something. Like, they kind of could have put that there, but you know, whatever. So, but yeah, so that's Beacon's Purge right here. Ta-da! So I'd like to think that that is Beacon's Purge, because it's actually an outpost, and that kind of feels better to kind of say that, you know, that like this is Beacon's Purge rather than that. So, Beacon's Purge, yeah. Ooh, okay. So it's a very, like, for anyone that used to play Guild Wars 1 in its heyday, like, that's a big outpost, you know what I mean? Like, this outpost used to be filled with people just doing these runs, you know, just going down Lornar's Pass, and then there's I forgot what the area down there is called, but there's another thing there. So so that is the southern path. We then get to the Deldrim Bowl, and we'll do that later, and then it leads into Krydas. So let's take the northern path, and there's going to be a little bit more to talk about there with regards to like Guild Wars 2. So we're gonna take the more northern path here, and my dog is barking for no fucking reason. It's annoying. It's just like, shut up, dude. Not that I don't love my dog. I love him to death. I mean, he's been like, but you know, it's just, you know what I'm doing? Like, I don't know. He's just like, he doesn't even want attention, because then you go down while he's barking, and he'll just be like, walk away from you. I'm like, why are you barking? Like, I don't know, he just wants attention. He doesn't even want to go out. So many times I'm like, okay, he has to go out. So I like let him out, and he comes like right back in. He's like, I don't want to go out. It's like, then why are you barking? He just, I don't know, he just wants to be acknowledged or something. I don't fucking know. You know, that's how it goes with the animals. We're gonna go back to Yak's band, guys. So we're gonna go the other way. So Borla's Pass is to the left. We're gonna take the right this time. And we're gonna go north. We're gonna go north, and we're gonna go the non-missiony way. Again, I really love this because you have these birch trees, and there's later an area in the southern Shiverpeaks. Yeah, it's the Mineral Springs. Is it the Mineral Springs? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the Mineral Springs. The Mineral Springs, again, you leave from the Granite Citadel, you go to Taskus Demise, and you kind of walk through, and you kind of can see over here is a portal, and you enter this, and there's like a little path, and there's all these birch trees, and it's really cool. I love it. It's so pretty, because like the white trees and the white snow, it looks really cool to me. It's like, I really like that. I like the different foliage that they have, because they have all kinds of different trees, right? They have these like brown bushes, but then they have these pine trees and then birch trees as well. So it's really, really cool. I can't apparently do anything. Can you guys die, please? Again, there's no recognizable areas or anything right now. We will be looking at some names in a minute. And we will be looking at some stuff in a second, so. Hey, come on. Good God. My good God. So I'm gonna take a little voice break, so we're gonna be a little bit more quiet. I talked so much. I'm sorry, guys. I know there's some people that probably get really annoyed. I always feel like I'm so annoying. Like, even at work, I'm just like, me, and I'm like, oh my God, I must be so annoying. And this is like information overload, and then I feel like people are just like, they're like, it's too much. We can't handle it. You need to stop. I hope no one feels that way about me. I'd be very sad. Well, I don't know. Does your wife have to say interesting things? Sometimes women have to say interesting things. Sometimes. That sounds horrible. That sounds super sexist. I don't know. I like... I don't know. Well... That's a whole different story, right? That's a whole different conversation piece there. Hence why I'm single and I live alone. I don't have to worry about that. I don't have to worry about it. I can do whatever I want to. Ooh, we have a quest giver here. What does he want? He wants me to defeat Stone Sledge. Wasn't that the name of the other guy? Minar wasn't that what was the other guy's name that we had earlier? Hold on, let's scroll back up. Yeah, look, he's the brother. This is the a good friend of mine prisoner. They've taken a friend. So this is probably, I'm guessing, the brother to, wait, what does it say? Blah, 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 blah. So this is Minar Stone Sledge, who's the brother to the guy that we helped, that also got captured. They're both called Stone Sledge. So this is like a little thing they don't really talk about, but there it is. There's a little bit of info, a little hints. So look at this name. Look at this stuff. Isn't it neat? Wouldn't you think my collection's complete? Okay, so we're in the Iron Horse Mines. What? That sounds so familiar. That sounds so familiar. Because that's existing in Guild Wars 2. If you have paid keen eyes again, guys. Keen eyes. I always point out keen eyes. Any of you that spot this shit where they're like, wait, Iron Horse Mines? That's a POI in Frostgorge Sound. Like, props to you. I like, and that sounded really like sarcastic, but I really mean that. Like, that's really like, you know, you need to know your shit in order to figure that out. But yeah, so we have these mines here, okay, and they're actually like underwater. I think I'm going the right way for them, correct? Is it down here? Yeah, it's down here. Let me through. Please, you must let me go. Oh god. That was not what I wanted to do. I wanted to press that button. Ugh. I'm gonna go invisible right now. Bam! Alright. Ta-da! We have the mines. They're underwater. This is all dredge stuff. Yeah, this is the Iron Horse Mines, okay? So this is what they look like. It has that really deep point here in the bottom where all this garbage is hanging out at. That is the point of interest. So you have to, like, you know, if you're doing map completion, you have to go all the way down there. This was one that took me forever to find because I didn't realize it was underwater. Because you can literally swim on top of here in this lake. And you can be like, how the fuck do I get in there? But there's an exit here on this side that leads you in there. You can kind of see the tunnel there. And then there's one here. So there's two sides to this. Okay, and you can like kind of swim in these mines. These are flooded mines. Again, this is based on Jormak Awakening. But yeah, so we're in these mines that are not obviously underwater at this point, and we're gonna just kind of venture. We're gonna take the other route. We're gonna take the more scenic, the more northern route along the mountains of the Shiverpeaks to get across the Shiverpeaks. And yeah, there's not gonna be any like dialogue or wait, this is a dead end? No, it's not. Okay. I was gonna say, I'm like, is this a dead end? No. So why is it called that? There is gonna be some mining. I think there's some mining stuff going on here, isn't there? I think that's what it's named after. So we're just kind of gonna take a look around. I'm gonna kind of zoom out. There's not, you know, they don't put a lot of things here. So again, this was like 2005. They probably started doing this in like 2004. Some really cool stuff. If you guys want to see some, like, you should look up like Guild Wars 1 Alpha. Look it up. It's really, because for those of you that don't know, the original Guild Wars was made by people that left Blizzard when Blizzard did World of Warcraft, and I guess they branched off. There, you know, a bunch of people or whatever, and they wanted to create their own MMO. They started ArenaNet, and which was called Triforge or something. Triforge Studios originally, something like that. There's some references to Triforge in the game. They were not flooded before. I will kind of show you some miney things that are above water. They were not underwater. Again, all the water that we get to see in the Shiverpeak Mountains is because in 250 years, as we go from Guild Wars 1 to Guild Wars 2, we have the movement of the world, and that is pretty much describing all the catastrophic things that are happening with each Elder Dragon awakening, right? Ending with the very last one, which is Zaitan. Incorrect, which is Kraukatoric. that's where it stops. But it starts with Primordus, and then it goes Jormak. We don't know exactly when Suwan awakened or if she ever went to sleep. We don't really know that. But you know, it starts with Primordus, ends with Krakatoric. I got that wrong. I was like Zaitan, but Zaitan was 50 years ago, and it's described in the novel. And then Krakatoric happens 5 years before the Guild Wars 2 release, 5 or 6 years or something like that. I think there is some mining stuff going on that we can see. But yeah, so the movement of the world describes the awakening of the Elder Dragons, and part of that is, you know, awakening. Some of them don't physically awaken, but they come out of this deep slumber, and even though they're still asleep, they start having these they have almost like they gain a consciousness, right? They kind of get to the point where they like realize what's happening around them, and because of that, it's like Jormag is like melting all the ice, and it starts flooding the Shiver Peaks, and there's a lot of water that like influxes into the mountains. I'm trying to get to the there we go. You guys can kind of see there's some mining going on over here. Okay, so these are the Iron Horse mines. Like I said, these are like the little transports. We saw them earlier. There's these little transports where the ore is going across. This is what the dwarves are using. So someone in there just like finished mining something, and they put it on a little thing, and it's going across here. It's moving to the thing, and then it moves back over. It doesn't actually empty out or anything, but it gives you the illusion that it travels. It travels from this tower to the next tower to the tower over there, and it keeps going. And we have these like, I don't know what these are for. Hello, hello. Levers. I don't know what they're for, guys. I'm not sure. But yeah, so it travels across here. Let's see where it ends. We'll see that. Yeah, so do you see like how this is what the mines are named after. They're kind of like mining. Again, there's one, this looks like obsidian. Remember that? We talked about that. It kind of looks like obsidian. It looks like that's kind of what they're mining. Ooh, is this going inside? Oh, there's a little tunnel area. We'll follow this. I want to see where this ends. I'm gonna follow the thing. I think it might end in this fort over here or something. I'm not sure. I remember there being a fort somewhere in these mountains. There's some kind of fort where they have strong enemies. Shouldn't be a problem for us to get into. Ooh, look at this. The sky kind of changes color again. We get this atmospheric, like, ooh, look at this. We got a whole quarry, guys. Look at this. This is what the mines are named after. Right here. None of this is underwater, right? Let's look to see. Even though, you know, you got to see the whole area here is named Iron Horse Mines, but it's actually named specifically after the area that I'm in right now. This is the actual Iron Horse Mines, and this is exactly where we are right now in Guild Wars 2. This is the exact location. Okay, so what is going on in here right now? This is the same location. So you can kind of see they're digging through here, but none of it is underwater. But yeah, these are the mines, guys. This is where they're mining the shit. And I don't know if there's actually like, it leads north. I think the north kind of, there's not a actual area up here. I think this all like leads into like dead ends and stuff like that. So there's not much to see. But yeah, you guys see that? See them moving around and stuff? So they're kind of like, this is the main operation here. Obviously, this is under Stone Summit control, but these are the Iron Horse Mines. And we have a boss here. He's probably the big leader here of the group. We're just going to squash him like the bug that he is. Goodbye. Again, there's more thingies traveling across, kind of showing you we were over there. That was one of the towers over there. They're kind of like, they lead, where do they lead? Right over here. They lead into all of these. So there's like a whole network of these things, right? And we get more. So that's kind of what it's named after. So you guys can kind of see that, right? It's really cool. So we get to see the non-underwater mines. It's been a long time since I've explored these mines so well. It's kind of cool that I'm doing it now. All these years. So yeah. I mean, I'm guessing where we just were is like above where this is, and they just like kind of dug so much, like they mined so much, they ended up like making this tunnel system, and then when the water crashed down on them from above, it kind of like locked the Iron Horse mines in, and there was only like 2 tunnels to come out on the side or something. That's what I would like to imagine. You know, that there was like water that came flushing through, and it caused all this stone to start crumbling down and just like covered the Iron Horse mines. But because they had all these structures, you guys saw all those like wooden structures and everything, they like held all the stone up, and now there's like the stone ceiling inside of this area, and then the dredge came along, and they like expanded on all of that, and they started building all the like machines in here and stuff like that. Or maybe that happened before the floods happened. We don't know. We don't really know how that happened, but you can make your own headcanon. Whatever you want to believe, you can make that happen. Because I don't think ArenaNet will ever go back and be like, listen, this is how the Iron Horse mines were made. Okay, they're not. So come up with your own headcanon, write a little short story, and submit it. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. But yeah, so we're kind of, ooh, look at the heavy snow. We're getting further again. Remember, we're going further. We're doing the same thing we did over here. We're slowly moving into the mountains. We're doing the same thing here. We have this intersection of all these. Again, this is just one big mining operation. There's mining going on everywhere. And we're just, you know, this was the bridge that we were kind of at. We were right in front of this bridge. This is like the central area of the Iron Horse mines. Ooh, we're getting slowed. Where are my people? Come on, friends. What are you doing? You gotta keep up, bros. So we got this like big bridge. We can go underneath that bridge as well. And we'll get a little bit of an overview. We get this. Would be really cool if they had left that bridge in. But we don't really get a bridge, right? Do we get one? If we look at the middle. So the middle, I will tell you guys, the middle of the area that we're looking at right now, the Iron Horse mines. So like I said, this is the actual physical mines that we saw, right? So if you look on the right side here with the with Guild Wars 2, is that your guys' right side? Left side. I'm sorry. If you look at the left over here, I keep saying that wrong. Your guys' left, my right. You will see that this is the physical iron mines, but the area, the Iron Horse, is that what's called? Iron Horse mines in Guild Wars 1 actually goes along here. Okay? Actually goes further. Yeah, it goes like this. So it's about this area. The middle of it is right here. This is where the big bridge would be. What is over here? Well, this is where the seahorse thing. Remember the seahorse thing that I talk about all the fucking time because I'm such a fucking nerd and I love seahorses so much. Yeah, that's where that's happening. Let's go find the correct area. It's to the north here. So this would be where the bridge would be. Obviously there's nothing here. I mean, is that the bridge? Is that the remnants of the bridge? No, that wouldn't even be here. It'd be over here. But this is, if you guys, for those of you that don't know, I made a video. I made 2 videos, in fact, about Easter eggs in Guild Wars 2. They're animal facts and Easter eggs, all that stuff. And there is seahorses here. You can see horses. You can see horses. You can see seahorses right here. That's the only part in interior that you'll find these pink friends hanging out. Swarm of, is it called a swarm of seahorses? Flock of seahorses? I don't know, but this is where the bridge would be. So you could argue, mayhaps you could argue, you know how we have an overpass here? There's an overpass and then a canyon. I mean, you could say that the canyon that we have here is the same canyon that's running through on Guild Wars 1. I don't know, but yeah, that's kind of the middle of the Iron Horse mines there. Did we see bubbles? I didn't. I wasn't in the screen. I don't have enough screens. I would like to have one right there. I heard of fry. I heard or fry. A fry of seahorses? No way. That's freaking hilarious. I love it. A fry of seahorses? I will never call it a herd ever again. It's a fry. That's really funny. I don't know what's down there, so we're going to explore that. I do want to show this area because we talk about water. This is the only water here that we will see. Look at this. Look at this, guys. We got a little frozen pond. It's not even a lake. It's a frozen pond. Ooh, and the sky changes color again a little bit. But yeah, it's a frozen pond. This is the only water that we see. Oh my god. The snow is fucking with my FPS. Whoa! There's so much snow going on. See, if I scroll in, it's not as bad. Whoa. Lag. Too much going on. Too much going on with the snow. I love the snow, though. Like I said, when I look ahead, when I look in this far area over there, look at how snowy that looks over there. In Guild Wars 1, you don't really get that feeling. And I hate that. I don't like that. I wish we could see that. I do want to go down here. I do want to see what's over on this side. And we're about to switch into a new area as well. But yeah, so kind of sad to see that we don't really get like any remnants of there were bubbles. Well, thank you, Emily, for that. For those of you that don't know, exclamation point hats will also describe to you that I can, I mean, you don't have to do it now that I'm telling you, but I have silly hats over here. For those of you that are like followers of the channel, you should have enough watch points. Oh, sorry, I read that too quickly. A baby seahorse is called a fry. That's even cuter. That's so adorable. So it's a herd of seahorses or a herd of fry. Got it. Thank you. That's awesome. Thank you so much for that. I love it. It's very great. You can make me wear silly hats. I have silly hats. I have a bull hat. I have a cone hat. Cone being the guy from Bleach. I have a rabbit hat that has like movable things. So that is all with my channel points. Just so you guys know. You guys can do that. I wanted to see if there was anything interesting here. But it just looks like it's an open field. Again, nothing. It doesn't look like a mine or anything. Yeah, see, there's nothing here. There's just some stone summit over there. Nothing interesting. So we're gonna just turn around and keep going. So, yeah. So for those of you that are followers, you should have enough points, I believe, to at least make me wear some hats. So that's in the channel points. I don't know what I have. Maybe the points are too high, but that's okay. I guess you're gonna have to watch more. And yeah, and once it gets to the point when I have like 300 million people watching me, which is my goal. I'm just kidding. People know I will never get to that point, but you know, you gotta have goals. So you know, once I get to the point where I have a lot of people watching me and a lot of people will request that I wear hats, I will be putting a time limit on them. I don't have a time limit on them right now, so you guys can make me wear it for the rest of the stream. Ooh, look, no snow right here. And you turn around, there's snow everywhere. And then no snow right here. And all the snow over there. I love it. All right. Here we are. Anvil Rock. Anvil Rock is an interesting subject to me. Because it's something that I love. Anvil Rock, here we come. Na 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 na. All right. So Anvil Rock. Let me see if I can go somewhere to give you guys a better idea of Anvil Rock. What did Chicken say? Oh, thanks. Oh, Chicken is so nice. He's like one of the nicest people ever. I'm always like, my friend Chicken Noodle, guys. He replied to my tweet. He said he's gonna miss my stream, but he wants me to upload it, which I will most definitely do. So this will be on YouTube if you guys are missing parts of it. And the original one, I have a set. For those of you that don't know, I have a set of them, of these comparison streams, over on the YouTube channel for Cantha. I did, when End of Dragons came out, I did a whole comparison. It was three streams of like 2.5 hours each, of going through all of Cantha. I did all the different like areas in Cantha, comparison streams, and I did last week. I did Ascalon. We did all of Ascalon. So that's up on the YouTube channel. You guys can find that over on my YouTube channel. He's gonna miss it, and then he retweeted my stuff, and then he put like you know, people should watch my stuff. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to do that later. I don't want to do it right now. Sorry guys. I was like, before I forget, I wanted to at least reply to it, but I'm gonna look at this other tweet in a minute. So I did that. Okay, let's stop here for a second. So as you guys can see, so Anvil Rock. What's so special about Anvil Rock? Why is it called Anvil Rock? Well, let's talk about Anvil Rock. Anvil Rock. And we'll go there in a second. But Anvil Rock is this part right over here. Right over here. Okay, I think it is. Well, you know what? Let's go there before I talk about it. But the reason, or while I'm talking about it, you know, we don't need to do, you know, it doesn't have to be mutually exclusive. Oops. I didn't mean to do that. Okay, here we go. Let's kill it. So as you guys can see, this becomes much harder. These groups become much harder. These guys become much stronger. I mean, they can't really do that much to me, but for someone that's a low level that has never played this game, this would be a very treacherous journey to do. So Anvil Rock is called Anvil Rock because the dwarves have this legend of the Great Dwarf. If you guys have ever heard, there, you know, there's the rite of the Great Dwarf and like all these things, which is almost like this mythology that they have, okay? And it's this belief that there used to be this like giant, which is, you know, kind of an oxymoron, but it's a giant dwarf, and he had an anvil. Like Anvil Rock was his anvil, and that's where he forged like these he forged something like a some kind of weapon or something, doesn't he? What was the weapon that he forged? He forged some kind of weapon, the Great Hammer or something, the hammer of the Great Dwarf or something like that. And he used Anvil Rock. Anvil Rock being the very tallest mountain of the Shiverpeaks. The tallest mountain in the Shiverpeaks is Anvil Rock, and it's shaped like an anvil. And in the legends of the dwarves, it's that the Great Dwarf used that as his anvil. Like, that's why it's called that. But it is the tallest of the mountains, and we're gonna kind of journey up. So we're at the peak of the mountains here. We're like at the very tip. We're journeying way, way, way up. So if we could like look down, you know, we'd be looking into like this valley of Ascalon, right, on the one side, and the valley of Kryta with the beaches, right? Guild Wars 1, Kryta, and we will see this at some other point, but Kryta in Guild Wars 1 was very beachy. There was a lot of beach going on. There was a lot of like ships and like all this stuff. It wasn't very piratey, but it was more undead. There was a lot of stuff with undead going on. Rabbit hat. We're doing the rabbit hat. All right, let's do the rabbit hat. Yes, I noticed that as soon as it popped up. Oh, I had a can of air. Just so you guys know, that's what just fell. I have a can of air from Slip. Snow bunny. Well, that's true. Let's turn the hat. I gotta turn my AC on for that because it's gonna be hot as fuck. What just happened? Did I turn off my... What? What the hell just happened? Did I just turn off my filter? How did I do that? Wait, how did I... My filter went bye-bye. I don't know why my filter went bye-bye. Something happened with my filter. What the fuck just happened to my filter? Do you guys see that? You're not supposed to see my blue screen. What the fucking hell is going on here? Hold on. Yeah, did that just happen? Did that just happen? Did that just happen? Did that just appear? Why did that just appear? Was that there the whole time and I didn't notice it? Why is that? Oh, it just happened? Why? Did I move it? No. Come over here. What the fuck? What the hell just happened? Even increasing the light doesn't do anything. Does it? It got better. Yeah, I know, because I was fucking around with it. I don't. What in the hell? That's wild, guys. That's really crazy. Wait a minute. I don't want to sit in front of a blue screen, but I don't know what's going on. I don't know what I just did. I disappeared for a second. I did that on purpose. I'm sorry, guys. We're having technical difficulties. We haven't had those in a while. Knock on wood. You guys can look at my hat. I'm doing that. I'm gonna have to fix this. It just turns it black. Oh God, look at me. I'm disappearing. Woo! Okay, hold on. I'll fix this in a second. Okay. There we go. Does that look good? Looks just fine. Okay, we're just gonna leave it like that. Does that look good? I think that looks fine. Yay! We fixed it! Alright. I forgot where I was. I was trying to like recollect to myself. I'm like, what was I talking about? All these things happened. I had a hat, and then the blue screen went away. So you can't really see. So Anvil Rock, being the biggest mountain in the Shiver Peaks, is like, you see how they have like on the skybox here, they have these mountains, right? There's nothing here, right? I mean, this looks like this would be it. But it's just not. You know what I mean? You see that over there? You know, it would be really cool. Like, they did a really good job with the End of Dragons with the skyboxes, adding like Kaining City at the end. Like, I want them to do that. I want them to like fill this. I mean, I think they wanted to kind of showcase that this is Anvil Rock over there, maybe. Like, but really in lore, Anvil Rock is over here. So I'm looking in the way different direction. It should be over there. And I feel like they, you know, with the really cool like skyboxes that they now make and stuff, like, wouldn't it be really cool if they just added like like, it would be right there, like add a gigantic mountain right there, and that looks like Anvil Rock. Like, that would be really cool. You know what I mean? I would really like this. But because look how gigantic just in this area, and this is the top of the mountain, this is, right? Like, look at this. So we're kind of like, this is the very tip. Can I actually? Yeah, I can. Look at this. You overlook the whole Shiver Peak. So if I'm looking down here, this is where like Snowden Drift would be. Remember, right? Frostgate goes perfectly through here in the middle, right? So if I'm looking perfectly south from Anvil Rock, like if I'm looking, like, it goes right through the middle here. So if I'm looking south from Anvil Rock, I would be looking like right over here, right? I would be looking, overseeing like all of this area. And you know, but it has this big open field here with minotaurs, and I'm gonna go over there. That's like a really cool like little outpost. Oh, look at that! We actually get to see some graphic stuff there. It's kind of weird. But yeah, you know, highest point. This is the highest point. Pretty much, this is I mean, that mountain peak is actually kind of higher over there. But Anvil Rock's supposed to be the biggest mountain of the Shiver Peaks. It's like the literal like smack in the middle biggest, you know, probably, I don't know if it's the biggest on Tyria, who knows, but yeah, it would be really cool because they added, right? They added Anvil Rock for Dragonstorm. And can we actually go in there? Let's look in there. Since we are here, let's kind of look. And then we have Ice Tooth Cave, which is like pretty much on the bottom, on the bottom side. There's a little cave just outside the Ice Tooth Cave. Dwarven clan leaders held parley at Anvil Rock, so where we are, Anvil Rock, right there, and a sacred site said to have been the forge of the Grey Dwarf himself. The Dwarven clans no longer meet for purposes of peace, and no one holds out hope that the Grey Dwarf will ever return to Tyria. So this icy place receives barely any visitors. It's just a little cave where you can like kind of stop. Again, it has a merchant. It's just a little ice cave that you can go into. Again, it's not something that we can actually see in Guild Wars 2. But can I? Twisted Marionette is going on right now. You must be in a squad. Well, I'll make a squad. Let's go. Let's go. I'm just kidding. Let's not even do that. Let's not even go there. So this is Anvil Rock in Guild Wars 2. Okay, so we're gonna kind of take a look at the tallest mountain. Right there it is, destroyed by Primordials, with engulfed in flames. So, this is all we get to see. I mean, there's nothing where we can say let's compare it to whatever or do whatever. You know, do we see any areas that look the same? No, we don't, right? But look at how gigantic it is, right? You look at that and it's like, it's huge. Because when you see Primordials and we actually go over there, like, I'm not even as tall as that thing over there. Like, just imagine how huge this is, okay? It's massive. And you kind of, like, get the feeling of, like, going down this giant mountain on the side over here. You know, this is where Frostgorge Sound is down there, right? But, yeah, you kind of get this, like, really, like, this feeling of, like, ooh, you're actually going down, like, this big mountain, right? They give you, it looks like there's, like, fire coming up there, but, yeah, it's kind of Anvil Rock here. I mean, nothing recognizable. But I do want to show like one thing that I think is really cool, which, like I said, they can change. They can always change it, right? They can always make improvements. They can always change stuff. While we're loading in, so, is it not here? Guess it's not. Where is that? Does anyone know what I'm talking about? There's that yeah, I want to go to the Dwarven Outpost. Is it somewhere over here? Aren't you supposed to see like snow covered? Oh, it's because it's at night. If it was during the day, yeah, okay. All these things popping up. So if it was during the day, we'd be able to see it, which kind of sucks that we don't get to see it. So when's day? It's night right now. When is day? Does anyone know? But yeah, during the day, when you stand here, leave the squad. When you stand here, you can look across these like snow-covered mountains, and that's something that I would really love to see, again in Guild Wars 2, right? Kind of looking across, you know, looking across to Anvil. Oh my God, they're getting killed. All the dwarves over here, they've died to the frost-fired riders. Well, let's help them out. Our dwarven friends here in the Shiverpeak Mountains. He was a healer over there. I guess he didn't do a very good job healing them because they're all dead. But yeah, so we have a little dwarven outpost here. There's nothing to do here. I don't think any quest ever takes you here. They have little lanterns and stuff. Well, these are all dead, but that's kind of sad. But yeah, and they have this little outpost here. You know, right next to Anvil Rock, like way in the mountains. They kind of, and a Dolyak over here with a little, you know, a little sleigh that they have stuff on. But what the hell is that? Did you guys see that? What the fuck was that? I don't know if you guys saw that, but it was weird. Some stuff was happening there on the screen. So that's Anvil Rock. Yeah, so this is the bottom of Anvil Rock. See, it kind of looks like an anvil. Looks like it's an anvil shoved into a mountain. Like, it looks unnatural, doesn't it? It doesn't look like that as the actual mountain. So I guess that's where kind of the legend comes from of the you know, of Anvil Rock being the anvil, you know, the forge of the great dwarf, because it looks super unnatural. It looks like someone jammed a giant, like, stone slab into the mountain, like, bam, this is gonna be my forge, right? So that's, dawn is in 15 minutes. Thank you. So we'll kind of, as we journey down this hill, you know, I can't show you guys anything in Guild Wars 2 anyways, pretty much, because, again, this is not stuff that is available to us in Guild Wars 2. None of this stuff, but I kind of want to show you guys anyways, like, the descent of the northern path down, which I used to love to take. I used to, the challenge of going across the harder path and not going the, because you know, I really, 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 like, if you're a level 20 character, it's easy to do the Frostgate mission. Super easy to do. But when you're not level 20, it's really a pain in the ass. There's many points where you can die. It's really long, and it's really obnoxious. So I like to take the challenge of going the northern route here, along through the Iron Horse Mines, through Anvil Rock, and then Deldrimmer Bowl. You know, but that's just me. It's fun because it feels like you're really taking a journey across the mountains. It's very treacherous because there's no outposts except for Icetooth Cave, right? To get to from Yaxbin to Icetooth Cave, you know, I make it look like I can do it in 15 minutes. I can go through there. It's easy peasy, you know, whatever. But it's because I have my, like, end game setup of characters right now, okay? If you don't have that setup, that's a really, really tough journey to take. And there's something, like, very satisfying, right? It's very satisfying to, like, deal with that, to kind of see that little journey. So we're kind of journey down here, Deldrimmer Bowl. So this is where we're kind of going into, I'm going to take the right path and then maybe loop around to the northern path or something, the other path. But yeah, so this is as we descend down the mountains, and as you guys can see, it gets a little bit brighter. It's not as dark anymore. The snowfall you know, it's just, you know, when you're high in the mountains, it stops snowing because you're so far above the clouds that it doesn't snow there. And I'm pretty sure it's also when you're, isn't it when you're like too high up in the mountains, it's like too cold to actually snow as well. So we're kind of coming down, so the snowfall starts again, right? And it stops. That was like 2 seconds of snowfall. Great. But yeah, so we're kind of getting, again, in this tundra-ish weather. With, like, we get a bunch of foliage here, but we still get a lot of snow. We get this really loud bird that's, like, right in my fucking ear. I'm like, what the hell's happening? It's still nighttime. I do want to show you guys. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it, because you can only see it if you have the pass. A lot of people don't have that pass, so I want to show you guys this, like, really cool. I love that. That was one of the reasons why I ended up buying that pass, because it's just beautiful. And I'm like, they did a really nice job. Like, I like good skyboxes, because skyboxes, you know, they surround every map, right? Every map has a skybox around it, so it's such an important part that you might not think about, but it influences you no matter what landscape you're looking at. You know, it's always there visually, you know what I mean, even though it doesn't necessarily pop out at you. And Guild Wars 2 has the base game has some terrible skyboxes, I want to say. Like, they're really ugly. I'm not a fan of them. So when they have really good ones, I'm like I said, End of Dragons is like really good shit. Really love that. Woo! I don't know. Just want to do it for you guys. I want you guys to get excited about it. I don't know. I have like all these hats, and I'm like, I was thinking about like, what's my favorite hat? I couldn't even tell you what my favorite hat is. I know, it's great, right? I think my sister was like, I want that hat. I'm like, it's like $12 on Amazon, okay? It's not, you know, it's not that expensive. So we come across, look, another settlement. So the dwarves, like, for society, for like a civilization that was so prominent to like be non-existent in Guild Wars 2 is for Guild Wars 1 players. That was such a stark contrast. That was such like, whoa, right? We knew that they were turned to stone, right? There's a whole thing that you do in Guild Wars 1. It's like a whole mission. It's like multiple missions that you actually go through, and you help them with the Rite of the Great Dwarf, which turns them into stone. But you know, it's just something that's such a big part, as you can see. Like, we have we have a settlement over here. We have Frostgate, which is Scruble's Gulch, which is the thing. Then we have Croc's Hollow over here, right? We have the Iron Horse Mines. We have Borealis Pass doesn't really have anything up until we get to Croc's Hollow. You know, Frostgate had a couple of buildings as far as I know as well. You know, and we see these outposts right here, and there's gonna be a lot more in the southern Shiver Peaks. You know, they're so prominent. They're all over in the Shiver Peaks, and they're just gone at Guild Wars 2. So it's just like, whoa, it's kind of crazy, right? Because you're expecting that. I mean, that's something that, you know, we always, oh, dwarves in the Shiver Peaks, yeah, that's normal. You know, but we said 15 minutes 6 minutes ago. Jesus, why am I so impatient? That's okay. We're doing this journey. You guys can kind of see more dwarven structures. This doesn't have a name or anything. I mean, it'd be kind of cool to have little name signs for this. Again, Cantha was really good about that, and you guys can kind of see, if you guys have seen any of my videos on my channel, specifically right before End of Dragons, I did a bunch of Cantha stuff. I utilized the signs that they have in Cantha a lot, specifically in Xingje. In Xingje, every little pond had a name. It's just like, this little tiny pond has a name, and it's like, cool, awesome, I can use that in my video. I want to show you guys some water. Look at this, guys! It's hot springs in the mountains. Look at this. It's steam coming off. We can take a relaxing little bath in the hot springs. Isn't that nice? Do we get a cool effect? No, sometimes they'll give you a cool effect if you're like in healing waters. But yeah, wouldn't you want to live here? Like, you're in the mountains, and there's a little bit of snow. You can, like, whatever, you know, and you can go there. And you're like really close to blah, 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 blah. Wow, there was a lot of things that I wanted to say that didn't sound like things I wanted to say. You have Kryta really close with beaches, so you can like travel to the beach. It's like a really great resort. Okay, guys, you can do a lot of different things. Especially if you're Dolyak in a sleigh. You can go down the mountain and do your thing at the beach, or you can go to the hot springs. I went the wrong way because I don't want to go that way. I want to go down here. I'm gonna do zigzag because I don't think there's anything over there. So I want to go over there. As you guys can see, there's more water. I think those are hot springs. More hot springs. Ah, good question. I don't know. Hot springs in Guild Wars 2. Where's Hot Springs in Guild Wars 2? Oh, you're talking about the guy that sings. Splish, splash, forlorn in a bath. That guy? That area was not accessible in Guild Wars 1. So, yes and no. I mean, I'm guessing they probably use that as an inspiration, but it is not something that's available. You like me singing that song? That's what he sings. Splish, splash, forlorn in a bath. And then, I don't know if it continues. I usually, by that time, I've spoken to him and already beat his ass. So, but it might have been an inspiration. I mean, there's, you know... You know, I guess it's common to have hot springs on the side of like volcanoes and stuff, but if they're like inactive volcanoes, they might be snow covered. So it's just like they should hire you to sing the song for them. I would love to be a voice actor, but I don't know where I would even start with that. I don't think I don't think I have the voice for that either. People would be like, who the fuck is this character and who voices this guy? And then I'll get death threats on my Twitter or something. I get like Bernie, like, what is it, like bags of poop that they set on fire on like the front porch. Isn't that like a thing or something? I don't know. I hope no one finds out where I live. I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want that. I know that some people know where I live. I know Chicken has my address. I know you have my address, Emily. I want to see these hot springs. I want to see these other hot springs. There they are. Oh, great. I can't really see them. I gotta go around. Alright, I'm gonna summon my warrior down there, and he's gonna mess them up. I could be a voice actor. Well, I appreciate that. I don't think I could be. I don't think I could be. I talked about this the other day on, not necessarily, like, being a voice actor, but, you know, because Chicken talked about, like, you know, a lot of the partners, they have, like, characters named after them or whatever. You know, they're like, in there. Damon, what are you doing? Damon O'Reilly. Oh my god, look at all these enemies. See how treacherous this would be for an actual level 10 group to come in here? Like, we're not struggling or anything, but a level 10 group would 100% be struggling through this. Like, there's so many. Look at all of these enemies over here. I'm just trying to have a bath, okay? Get out of here. My god. Look at this. More hot springs. Yay. But we talked about it, you know, and he was talking about how, like, he would like, you know, he would be really happy with just having, like, the chicken that's getting chased in, like, I think he said Ebonhawk. I'm not sure exactly where he meant, but in Ebonhawk, like, if that chicken gets renamed to Nooble, and that's all he would want, you know. I said that I would love to be like a villain, some kind of champion that you fight in like Fractals or something, or in the story mission or something, like some kind of NPC, just be some kind of evil guy or something, you know? I don't know. That would be really cool. I would love that. But if that, dude, you know, if that were to ever be like, if that were to ever be the thing, like ever happen, I would probably be like, this is it. This is it. This is it. I don't want anything else out of life. I could die happy. Like, if I get in a car accident the next day, I'd be like, that's okay. Not that I would want that. I'm just saying. Look, this is so weird, right? So we're coming down here. We're slowly moving along. And there's one lone fucker over here that lives in this house, okay? Like, imagine, there's all these centaurs around. They're just murderous. They hit everyone, and you live here by yourself. I don't know. There's just something. I don't know. I've always wanted to like voice act like an evil guy. I have like this image in my head where I'm like Dark Side Kevin, like let Dark Side Kevin out. You know, that like that is in there, that, you know, I mean, or a Raleigh or whatever, right? I mean, it would be, I guess it would be a Raleigh, so it'd be Dark Side of Raleigh, but there's just that image in my mind where I'm just like, that would be really cool. You know, it's just like voice act that or have that happen. So you guys kind of saw, this is the Deldrim Bowl is pretty boring. There's not a lot of, sorry, my ears are getting really hot. Oh, I'm disappearing. My hat is like halfway disappearing. Did you guys see that? Let's kind of fix up for a second here. Oops. Oops. And, oh god, I got like really gray there for some. Whatever. La la la. All right, so yeah, so the Deldrim Bowl is pretty boring, right? It's a pretty, I mean, all the stuff here looks pretty much the same. It's all like this, right? It's all like just that. And then we get a couple of buildings, and there's nothing to do. There's no important quests. But this is where we come from, Beacon's Perch. So the path we just took is what you would be taking from, because right where the second hot springs were, that's right around the corner from Beacon's Perch. So if we were to go the southern path and you know, northern path and southern path, that right at those hot springs is where they meet. That's where those two come together. Or I could take this path over here, but most definitely where they meet is right at this gate. This is the gate. Okay, this is the gate. There's some Ettins. You guys can see some Ettins. Ettins look like this in Guild Wars 1. Look at this. They don't have like two heads or anything. They kind of, this is what they look like. Oh, they do have two heads, but they're like fused together more. But that's Ettins in Guild Wars 1. There you go. And we kind of journey through here, right? And we get to this cave. This cave right here is the Griffin's Mouth. And I would like for, oh, it's dawn right now. Okay, so we're gonna wait a few minutes here as I venture through. We're gonna kind of do this because there's a lot of stuff right here. I don't know why I'm collecting that. Stop it. We don't need it. Get out. I have all this stuff. Why have I collected all of this? Jesus. So we come into this cave, right, in the middle of this cave. So it's just, again, an icy cave, and it's called Griffin's Mouth. I don't think it looks like a griffin or a mouth of a griffin. It's probably just called that. I'm sorry, my foot is itchy, so I'm scratching it. This is where we see the first of the White Mantle. They have come as far as up here, right? They're all in Kryda, specifically Lion's Arch, right? But they've come as far as here, and this is where, you know, we kind of get introduced to them. We kind of get to see what the White Mantle looks like. I would talk to this guy at this point, and he tells me that I would follow Aiden's markers, which would lead me actually further through the mouth. I don't need to do that. I'm not going to do that quest. Snow over here. I want to say Snow is Aiden's pet. I'm not sure. But you kind of follow, I want to say Snow, to the Mark of Aiden. And you would kind of take it through, because they kind of say that these caves, these ice caves, are like labyrinthy a little bit, and you can get lost in them, and there's a lot of Ettins around, and they're pretty brutal in Guild Wars 1. So they kind of give you like this, ooh, let us guide you through here. You know, it's like, whatever. Because they take you to the right, but you can also go to the left. And we're going to go to the left. We're going to go where all the Ettins are. Hello, Ettins. Ooh, look, guys. Look in Guild Wars 2. Look over at Guild Wars 2. Do you see that? So the slowly the clouds move, right? We kind of see the clouds move. And then what's behind there is like the snow-covered peaks that are coming from behind the clouds. Like, isn't that cool? You know, and this is what, again, one of the newer skyboxes that they have added. I mean, this pass has only been, I think, a couple years now that they've had this pass, maybe longer. See, and this is where we meet Aiden's markers meet us right here. This is, we would have been going the other way, but it doesn't really matter. Like, you know, and this is kind of where we exit the cave. And then Aiden is down there. Aiden kind of waits for us. And it's dark right here. Do you see? Because there's like trees. We come out of this cave and it gets really bright. Do you see how bright the screen gets? And we're like, oh, and we can see, right? Everything gets light. Look at how bright everything is. And then we're kind of like, we're getting, ooh, what is this? And we're kind of journeying along here. And we go to Kryda. Okay, we go to Kryda, and we go to the first area, and I'm gonna just kind of show you guys the first area, and then we're gonna pull back a little bit because I do want to talk about some stuff in Guild Wars 2. So kind of to show you guys the last area here of Central. So this is Kryda. So we start off with beaches, right? This is Kryda in Guild Wars 1. Scoundrels Rise. We do get some pirate ships that have been coming afloat here. Which is not super common in Guild Wars 1, but it does happen occasionally here and there. Yeah, you guys can kind of see, look at all these shipwrecks and stuff, and then we have beaches to the north and so on, and we kind of, this is Kryda. This is what Kryda pretty much looks like in Guild Wars 1. Very different, right? It's a beachy themed, there's a lot of sand, a lot of like, I don't know, water-based stuff, I want to say. You know, this palm tree over here has like weird fruit growing on it. Stuff. Enemies get stronger here. These are already level 12, so we're gonna. I kind of want to show you guys the water. You know, we have the lesser giants. That's the giants basin, and it's the lesser giants basin. So, but yeah, look at that. With the shark swimming around. Do you see that? We can't actually go in water in Guild Wars 1, so we can't actually go. There's no way to actually go down there. But isn't that cool? Like, you have the shark swimming around here, and kind of just look at it. Obviously, it's not cool swimming with a shark, but yeah. So that's kind of a preview of Kryta for you guys. Okay, so let's go back to the Griffin's Mouth, and let's kind of finish this up. I'm gonna take another like 30 minutes or so to kind of talk about some stuff, because I do want to talk about specifically this ice cave that we have. But yeah, so Guild Wars 2, look at this. So we have these snow-covered peaks. Okay, look on your left here. That is cool to me. If we had something similar to this in Snowdon Drifts and maybe Frostgorge Sound, where we could see where like this is Anvil Rock in the distance, like that would be really fucking cool to me. You know, that'd be something that's really, 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 really awesome, right? It would be cool. There's some water here, but yeah, that would be really, really cool. I would love that 100 million times. Okay, big fan, big fan. Ra-da-da-da-da. All right, so let's talk about Daldrimor Bowl before we do anything. So Daldrimor Bowl takes place pretty much exactly around here. Okay, and you guys can see, you know, we can go right in the middle of it. It looks nothing like Daldrimor Bowl. Again, they kind of didn't translate it. I guess Graggle's something, Graggle's, what is it called? Graggle's Keep, which is, remember that little town where I was like, not everything is named. I get it. I guess there is some kind of quest that gives it a name. I want to say, I guess there's some kind of quest that gives it a name. So that little town that we went through that had all the like random buildings and stuff, it's called Graggle's Keep, and it was where those collectors were. Those two people, we kind of walked by them. We didn't even look at them. And there's no information on it. It's just a small area that's surrounded by centaurs. That's all it says. So nothing really important, but so that's like right there. So that kind of shows you where this takes place. Now we're here in Guild Wars, again, Guild Wars 2, and there's nothing about Graggle's Hold, which is supposed to be right here, literally right there. There's nothing there. There is that thing in here, the guild puzzle that we have, which is called Angvar's Trove. I don't know if Angvar, but it goes all the way through the mountains, right? It actually goes inside of there, inside of this mountain behind this priory outpost. But yeah, nothing really looks like, nothing looks like, this doesn't look like the Daldrimor Bowl at all, does it? No. Again, there's nothing here. And yeah, there's nothing that looks even remotely where you're like, oh, I guess that could be this or whatever, right? We don't really have that, which is somewhat a shame. And then, of course, at the very south, over here is where Beacon's Perch is, right? Remember how we say, oh, we come out of Beacon's Perch, and then we go along, and then, you know, this is where Griffin's Mouth is. So Griffin's Mouth actually starts right over here in Guild Wars 2. That's where the cave starts. Okay, and then it actually moves, or did I get that wrong? Oh, it actually starts right here. Okay, I'm sorry. And the cave actually extends around here. Okay, so that's us moving down the mountains. We can do the same movement in Guild Wars 2, but we don't really get ice caverns. So let's kind of explore the area. Thank you, Nikki. I appreciate that. Nikki Wonka, I appreciate it. My ears are hot, so I'm just gonna do my thing here real quick. We're gonna do a yay for Nikki! Woo! All right, thanks, Nikki. I appreciate it. So we can do kind of the same thing here in Guild Wars 2, where, you know, the ice cave would let's position this correctly here. It would actually lead directly where we are, but we do have some caves, right? We don't necessarily have ice caves that we're going through, but we have these, right? We do have a couple of dredge caves. Maybe they utilize these because of their construction and all the stuff and the machines, the steam that they use. They could have melted the ice inside of the cave, inside of the Griffin's Mouth cave. That is a possibility, but and you know, and they kind of dug up this these crystals, these looks like amethyst, right? We have those, but this is like a pretty big cave system, right? And this should be part of that same, you know, this would be pretty much exactly where we are standing right now. Let me make sure. Let me look at the map here. Let me look at it. I'm currently directly under the F. Oops. And directly under the F would be yeah, literally, I'm telling you guys right now, like I'm comparing these maps. On this side where I just was, right here, this is where I am in both games right now. Okay, this is the same location. Okay, obviously this is an ice cavern. There's no Deldrimor here, or dredge. I'm sorry, dredge is what I meant to say, not Deldrimor. Dredge. But yeah, so this is the same location. So it's kind of the same ice cave that I kind of have. I do want to point out another thing, and this is south. And you guys might know what I'm going to kind of go to for those of you that know this area. We do have a couple of caves to the south here as well that are a little bit more icy, or the themes are a little bit more icy, because we do have another cave here, which is where the trolls are. Okay, we have this troll cave, which leads to this champion. And we can continue going through here, and we get some crystals again. That's really cold. I read cold on the left, on the Guild Wars 1 side, and that's why. But we also have these little areas right here. Right, we have these like ice elementals. I think they meant to maybe do like a meta event at some point, because I don't really know what these areas are for. This is not even a point of interest. Like, why does this look so? This looks strange, doesn't it? This looks very out of place. There's one event that comes down here with this guy who collects some kind of info or whatever. But doesn't this look like there's some kind of icy being that's kind of frozen over in this little lake, and he could break out at any time? Like, it would be like a really like a champion sized ice root Norn, right? You know how they're like on all fours, they look almost like icy gorillas in a weird way. Like, that would be the back of it, right? That's just kind of sticking out of it. There's that, and then there's this area which has nothing to do. There's no side quest. Another one of these where there's ice elements. I don't know if they had planned on doing like a two-way meta event where you have to like split up, or you go here first and then you go down here and you take care of this or something. I mean, it has like this really cool like little frozen creek that comes down to it, to this little point. You know, these two, and there's consistently frost spikes dropping. As you guys can see, they're just dropping in the area. Like, it's almost like an environmental thing. There's nothing there. So I don't know if they had some kind of plans, you know, because this was like an ice cave, and then this would be like Ice Gate, right? Ice Gate, remember, we have Frost Gate and Ice Gate, right? We have the, we're doing the whole thing. So we have, like, I don't know. It looks like there was some kind of remnants where they wanted to make a callback to the Frost Gate area and maybe make like some kind of cool, like, meta event or something like that. I don't know. But we don't, and mind, guys, we don't have a meta event for Gandarian Fields. There's no real, there's chain, like, quests, chain quests, right? We have the centaurs here that are attacking Nebo Terras and Ascalon settlement, and we don't have anything with the Vigil. We have a couple of events here that are just like whatever. We have a couple of pirate events up here, but nothing big. And they probably took that out because they didn't want to. I don't know why they did it. Because we have one for Harathi Hinterlands. We have one right over here, right? So we have one there, we have one there. Then we have none in Snowden Drifts either, guys. Mind you, there's none in Snowden Drifts either. Lornar's Pass doesn't have one either. But then we do have one here. Would be really cool to have something in this corner, you know, because none of these maps have like a meta boss, like a big meta event. Weirdly enough, a lot of the snowy maps don't. We just have this Frost Scourge has the big one, right? So it'd be really cool to maybe have a world boss. You know, maybe they had planned a world boss here, but maybe they didn't want to do it because it leads right into Lion's Arch, and they didn't want new people to come up. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they didn't have enough time or something. But it looked like there was something in development here where they started working on something, and they didn't do it. But yeah, so that's kind of like, you know, I feel like that's somewhat reminiscent of kind of where the ice theme from the cave comes in, because they call it Ice Gate. And then they have this cave right here, and they have a couple of caves here and there that are kind of, I feel like, a callback to that ice cave. Now we can cross the mountains perfectly. Again, there's more ice elementals that are kind of hanging out in this corner. Again, they don't have a reason. Why is there one little corner that has ice elementals, right? It's kind of weird. Like, it's strange to me. I'm like, was there something? It looks like there would be like a cave entrance or something here. Did they plan on something like that? It looks like you could go into the mountains here. So I don't know. I don't know if there was something planned where they were trying to do a callback. But let's kind of talk, because we talk about Ice Gate and we talk about Frost Gate. Let's talk about something that I feel like, in Guild Wars 2 specifically, that was, I feel like, influenced by the Frostgate mission. Okay, so first of all, I want to establish what's going on here. Okay, so we know that Beacon's Perch is right here. Remember that, right? We're gonna just say this outpost over here, Mennerheim. Mennerheim is where Beacon's Perch is. Okay, so we're looking at Beacon's Perch in Guild Wars 1 right now, and Beacon's Perch is here. So directly, almost directly east of it, I mean pretty much exactly, like, it's east and then a little bit to the south, that's where the Frost Gate is. Okay, I've already talked about that. So that's east and south. I've already talked about that. This is where the Frost Gate would be. ArenaNet, for whatever reason, went and made that, phew, what is this? Frostgate Falls. Weird. Like, they tried to maybe incorporate the Frostgate in some way, but then they didn't really do it justice. Or I don't know, they didn't really connect the two games. I don't feel like one has to do with the other, because you get this. You get these draconic statues that we will come through Lornar's Pass. We will come through this area, guys. We will be walking through exactly this area. And as far as I remember, it's been a while, so I might be wrong on that. But as far as I remember, there wasn't draconic statues like this in Lornar's Pass in Guild Wars 1. Okay? There was cool things to see in Lornar's Pass, but this isn't one of them. So they have this whole idea where somewhere in the zone, if you defeat enemies, and I don't have it on me right now, didn't one of my characters have it? Didn't my kitty cat have it? Dude, if my kitty cat has it, we're so gonna do it. I don't care if I'm kind of defying the rules of my whole kitty cat challenge thing. Oh god, and now I got all this. Look at this. They're just giving me experience points. Stop it, ArenaNet. You're ruining my challenge. Don't I have the gear crank? Gear crank. I have it. I have it. I'm so prepared for these streams. Please. I'm so good. I'm just kidding. That was pure coincidence that I remembered that being a thing. So, we're gonna take my character that I shouldn't be taking here, but I level up. Stop giving me free shit, ArenaNet. I want to have some challenge in my games, please. We're gonna use this hammer. We're gonna beat this guy to pulp. We're gonna use Jalis Ironhammer's power, since we just met him. And we're just gonna do it really slowly. Do we have? Oh, we have 2 swords. Okay, nice. Yeah. So we have a gear crank. So this is the call. This is the callback to the gear. Remember, we had the gear. The gear lever, right? That we had to collect and then put it into the mechanism. Well, we have the same thing here where they kind of do a callback. This guy is looking for. Here I have what you're looking for, because he's like, oh, thank you, why have you come out? He's studying these Deldrimor structures. These are supposed to be dwarven made, okay? Remember how I talked about, like, some of their structures look like jade? So that's kind of the callback to the oh, I kind of have to just equip some stuff here. This is kind of the idea, like, this is dwarven made. And then it says, something seems to be missing, though. Part of the mechanism isn't functioning. You haven't come across any odd objects. What kind of odd objects? Some sort of manual activation device, most likely. A crank or a lever, maybe. It's hard to tell, but it's my best guess. Where would I find something like that? The dredge may be a good place to start. They often take Deldrimor parts, though dealing with them may take some time. Creative persuasion. So I can tell him, oh, I have one of these. Oh, that looks just like what I need. So he takes the gear crank from us. And he, it seems to be the right period, the right material, similar style. This may be it. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna take care of this.
Give it a whirl. Get it? Right. Whoa. No. Ow.
And we're really weak. I don't know why. I'm just getting experience shoved. So he activates it. He puts the crank in there, which is this little end of the tails. Right here, he puts that in, and they start breathing fire, right? They start breathing fire, and they melt it, and we actually see, like, a dwarven structure here. And an ancient creature comes out. Force the ancient creature back into its prison. So there's, like, this whole idea of, like, another gate, because this is in a much different location. There was originally no gate here, right? And it's just like, okay, this is a champion. I'm never gonna win this, but and it doesn't really matter because nothing comes of it. It's not like we're gonna get any cool lore drops or whatever. They kind of like close this back up in this frozen. It's a frozen waterfall, and they freeze it back up, and the creature gets trapped in there. But there's just like a gate, right? It's some kind of gate again, but it's not even in the right area at all, right? Because it's like we're talking like way different areas here. So again, Arena tried to do like a callback thing, but then they didn't do it right, and it's like, okay, because they had the gear crank, and they're like, oh, remember in the mission when you had to run around all this stuff, right? Yeah, so that's kind of the Frostgate Falls. I don't know. There's nothing to me that actually looks like you can go through there or whatever. You know, you can actually or at least looking similar, like something in Guild Wars 1. So that's kind of a shame. I wish they, again, there's this part of me where I want ArenaNet to go back and redo some of the original maps, and I would like to have that. Like, give me, you know, go to, you know, specifically like Snowden Drifts. Snowden Drifts is like, I really love Snowden Drifts, but it needs something to give it like substance. I want it. Oh, we can actually, so we just died here, but we can help these guys. Now that I'm on a character that actually can do stuff. And there's a bunch of people here, so that's fantastic. So you can force this creature back. It starts like running away from us or whatever, and we finish it.
Require my full concentration. I'll need you to guard me. Be careful though. You can't know what tricks this monster may have up its sleeves. Metaphorically speaking, I mean. Clearly it doesn't have sleeves. Oh, let's just get started.
So now he has to do ritual of trying to get this creature back buried in the ice. And that's pretty much it. I mean, it's just like, you know, we just have to protect him. And that's pretty much it. So my minion master is just like all these minions that he has. We can kind of go to like maybe Rubal's Gulch is a pretty It's very pretty. Um, But yeah, that's, you know, part of that. Kind of wishes that they go back and, like I said, specifically Snowdon Drifts. It's beautiful. It has like a really nice flow to it, I want to say. There's some open areas that kind of bother me where there's not a lot to do, like specifically over here, the Frozen Sweeps, Hrothgar Pass. There's not a lot to do. But the areas, you know, there's Owl Shrine, obviously, that's like my favorite shit ever there. You know, over here, the abattoir, Griffin Fall, like this part is really nice. I do like this part over here. There's a lot of cool stuff. I love the parts around the lake with the centaurs here. I like this part up here. But there's some open areas that kind of like, there's not a lot to do here. There's not a lot to do here. There's not a lot to do here. There's a heart here, and then there's an event. There's an event like around here or something. So there's stuff to do there. This is somewhat empty, some empty spaces, but it flows fairly nice. But it would be nice if we had something, you know, you can use one of these open areas to do like some kind of meta event, you know, or use down here to do some kind of like Frostgate reference or something like that. That would be really cool, you know, if they were to go back and do some of the older maps. Like, that would be something for Snowdon Drifts that I would like to see. So they freeze us back up.
Even utilizes natural forces to great effect. I know that was rather harrowing, but if you find another crank, I'd love to collect some more data.
And it kind of loops around. So now he's asking for another crank again, and it loops around. So there's nothing that happens like lore-wise where, you know, he's just like, oh, I'd like to collect more data, but it's just like, okay, what data? Like, what did you even collect? So it kind of sucks, right? It's just a little bit where it's just like, what the fuck, right? So so we know where Jalus's tomb is, right? We know where King Jalus Ironhammer's tomb is. But this actually, this part, and you guys might have seen me scroll over that, this is Ironhammer's crypt. Okay, so this is, I'm guessing, where Breknar, his brother, was buried. Remember that? Like, he's King Jalus's brother. He's also an Ironhammer, but that's his crypt right here. So we get to see that. There's probably more things that I've missed where it's like, you know, and we're gonna, I mean, this is like, again, this is part of going through Lornar's Pass and stuff, so we'll see that. But, yeah, I think we're getting to the end where I'm like kind of running out of things to talk about, which is, you know, a first in my freaking life. I never run out of things to talk about. Are you kidding? So yeah, that's kind of the central Shiverpeaks. It's our first, you know, as Guild Wars 1 players, it's kind of our introduction into the mountains, which is weird because that whole part that we, you know, this entire part, really the only thing that's remaining that, you know, is Yak's Bend, right? We go back to Yak's Bend, which is the initial part of the journey. And, you know, you gotta imagine, like, and it's something that I look back at with nostalgia, right? For me, and I didn't quite understand like MMOs at the time, and I didn't understand how expansive they are. Like, MMOs in general are massive games, and they're much larger than nowadays. AAA games can easily, you know, you look at Breath of the Wild as like a massive map, right? Back in the day, though, that wasn't the case, right? You compare these games to, like, you know, like the AAA games from back then, and they weren't like that expansive. They weren't so huge. So to me, who this was my first MMO, I thought Ascalon was all that it was. Like, this is it, right? And I never really like zoomed out, I want to say. I don't think I ever like took the time to zoom out. So when I like was journeying, you know, through Ascalon, I'm like, my God, you know, and you just get introduced to all these new things. Didn't Prince Rurik die? Correct, he did. We did see that earlier, so I'm sorry that you're late to the party. We went through all of the Central Shiverpeaks. He did die, and I will be uploading this stream to YouTube, to my YouTube channel, so you guys can go subscribe over there. And we did watch the whole cinematic. Okay, the whole cinematic is there. We talked about it. We talked about the Frostgate. We saw Dagnar. We talked about Dagnar's tomb. We talked about his Drake. We talked about all those things. So that is part of that. So I'm sorry that you missed that. Sounds like you're someone that's interested in that type of stuff. So I'm sorry that you missed that. But We did talk about that, and that is correct. Yes, that right over here is where Prince Rurik died. Very tragically, he got axed in the back by Dagnar. We watched it very unceremoniously. He was just chopped, like his head was chopped right off. But welcome, nonetheless, Form Infinite. Welcome. But yes, that is true. That is very true. A big part of the lore, really, too, right? Because we talk about Suhathan and Magdair and Adelburn and Rurik and blah, 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 right? You have all these things. I forgot what I was saying before that. But yeah, so it was my first introduction to video to MMOs, not video games, but MMOs. And I remember coming to Yaxbend for the first time, and I was like, oh, I'm in a new area. It's not destroyed Ascalon anymore, right? I was like in destroyed Ascalon for like God knows how many days. I was trapped there because I didn't know how the game worked, and I failed all my missions, and I finally made it through, and I was like, oh, I'm in a new area. And this is the first introduction that you get as Yaxbend, right? And this was like really cool to see, right? To like kind of, I don't know, just see a new area in the game. So, you know, and then that's kind of, I don't know. That's it for the central Shiverpeak Mountains. I might have missed something. If you are more knowledgeable than me in the lore and the maps and all that fun stuff, which is a very high plausibility that you are, because God knows I'm not that smart. But you can you know, and you want to point it out to me, I wouldn't be mad. I would be very happy about that. But you can do that on the YouTube video. I'm gonna upload this. It's gonna take a few days, I want to say. Like, I'm gonna kind of wait until it's gonna take a few days for the stream to come up, but it'll be on my YouTube channel. You guys can watch it front to back and skip through whatever you guys have already seen or whatever other stuff. For those of you that are new, welcome, and thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Speaking of the YouTube channel, I do have other comparison streams. I have one from last week. We did Ascalon last week. I will be doing Kryta probably not next week. My new job, we have important things going on Monday night, so I might not be here on Monday night. So I might not do a comparison stream next week, but it will be the Monday after that. Cross your fingers that I'll be here to do that. Unless you guys want me to do it on Sunday, which is usually my Zelda streams right now. But if you guys want me to do it on Sunday, just shout at me or whatever. Yes, and I have done Cantha. All of Cantha is also over on my YouTube channel if you guys want to see the comparisons in Guild Wars 1 and Guild Wars 2. It's set up the same way that it is right now, or pretty close to the same way, with the cameras the same way, kind of set up, and we go through. And a lot of people really enjoyed those. That was right after End of Dragons came out, and I compared a bunch of stuff there. And there's more stuff coming to the channel, guys. I have plans on regional lore, and we'll talk about all the things and stuff. So I have stuff going on there. And yeah, I don't know. I think that's pretty much. I don't know. My voice is hoarse, and I need to go to bed because it's 1 o'clock, and I have a big day tomorrow. I get to train people tomorrow, guys. I get to be an instructor tomorrow. I get to instruct people, and I'm really nervous. Do we want to raid someone? Yes, we do want to raid someone. I'm gonna open her stream real quick. I'm gonna have her mute. A really someone who I adore her from the bottom of my heart. She is, I want to say, fairly new to streaming. I don't think she's a new streamer. She streams like Sims usually, but I think she's new to streaming Guild Wars 2. Zalandra, I want to say is how you pronounce her name. I think she's so adorable. I think she's really cool. So we're gonna go over there. We're gonna raid her. I know we're only like 4, 5, whatever. But it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't fucking matter. So we're gonna go over there. She's doing, I guess she's doing Zaitan. I saw something Zaitan. She's completing maps. She's playing around on her like fashion. It's gonna be really fun. Okay. she has a bunch of people. She has like 16 people watching. So we're gonna do that. Let me do that right now. I don't know why I'm talking. Why am I just fucking do it, right? Just like stop talking and just fucking do it. But I do want to tell you guys, thank you guys so much. Again, thank you for 400 on YouTube subscribers. I'm so happy. 400. You know, I have my little goals, and 400 is like so amazing to me. Oops, sorry, we have something going on here with Ugu Bear, Ugu Bear, Uju Bear. I don't know, whatever. But yeah, I do want to say thank you guys so much for that, and thank you guys for watching and for the continued support and all this stuff. Like, it means the world to me. I sometimes feel like I sound like an asshole, or I sound not appreciative of you guys, or I don't know, but I really do. Like, this stuff makes my day better, and I have such a grand time doing this, and I look forward to it. You know, I cancel a lot of my plans with other people in order to do this stuff, and I'm not trying to be like, oh my god, I do this for you guys. I don't. I do it for myself as well as you guys. But I just, you know, I really cherish these moments. So thank you guys so much, and I hope you guys had a good time. What? Okay. I don't know what I just. Oh, I hate streams like that. Streams where they're like, oh, you've won something, but they're just trying to get you to watch it. I would never do that. All right, let's rate a channel. We're going to do my friend Zalandra. So go over there, say hi to Zalandra, give her a follow. She's really cool. She needs help, all kinds of help. As far as I understand, she's like, sometimes she gets lost a little bit and some stuff. Guild Wars 2 is very grand and there's a lot going on. So if you guys want to help her, she's really good about like listening to people and like, you know, just learning about the things. So, you know, like, just go there, help her, you know, whatever, say hi, and thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys on Sunday or whenever you guys want to watch. So I'll see you guys then. Woo! Bye guys. I gotta do the. Okay, hold on, I gotta wait a couple seconds. All right, bye guys.
Oh, add to collection. Oh, nice. Thank you so much for the raid. Just so you know, oh, no worries, no worries. I appreciate all the advice, but at the current moment, it's I am okay. Oh my goodness, thank you. I appreciate it so much. How are you doing? Hi. How was your stream? You have a did you have a good stream? How was Guild Wars? You have fun? A good word. All right. Let me see. We were talking about an arrow. Can you see the arrow at the swapping weapon button? The arrow here or the arrow here? There is a lot of arrows. Yes, we did completion. Guild Wars 1 to Guild Wars 2. Oh, nice. Okay, besides the one button, there's